and welcome to Tabletop Fables and our first ever stream. For the first stream, we're going to go around briefly and introduce ourselves. I'm DM Cody. I'm here to entertain you and make the players regret everything. Tabletop Fables and our first ever stream.
Technical glitches.
And I'm glad we worked this out soon. Entertain you and make the players regret everything.
So good we'll hear him twice.
What's the fun if there's no technical difficulties, right? So I'm going to hand over first to our first player.
I am Bredicus. I am playing Medreth. He appears as a very large human. He has some fighting abilities, some healing abilities. He's a bit cagey about his background. He's generally quite angry and agitated when people discuss it with him. And that's all we know for now. Beyond he is constantly covered in some sort of illusion magic.
And an owl.
And he has a dove, which he believes is an owl, on his shoulder.
I'm Anthony. I'm playing Cass. He is a dwarf with a visibly tortured past, scars everywhere, and is often distant and quiet about things from his past.
I'm Jacob. I'm playing Jafar. I'm a Tabaxi rogue. I'm a white lion for Tabaxi. Jafar is quite prideful and loves stories, and is very intrusive when he finds something interesting.
I'm Lachlan and I'm playing Valius, tiefling bard. I've got blue skin and black horns and purplish hair, and Valius just kind of likes to keep everyone happy, try to at least, but keeps all his secrets close to his chest and see where the adventure leads him.
Alright, so once again, welcome, and we're going to tell you where we left off in session 0. So our adventurers managed to make their way across the high ice, facing all sorts of dangers, including shape-shifting drow, ice floats covered in lava, and just the cold itself. They managed to finally get to this ancient dwarven mine, sunk deep into the ground, which is where we left them. There were challenges faced getting in there as well. They had to find their way through an underground waterway, fight their way through some dangerous-looking mechanical spiders. When I say fight, very cleverly get away without fighting them. And found their way to the giant door that led to the mines. A couple of failed checks later, and a couple of successful ones, they managed to open this gargantuan stone door built by the dwarves, leading into the mine. They found their way down to an ancient forge that looked brimming with magic, lava flowing under the ground, weapons lining the walls and glinting with an amazing craftsmanship unseen before. Medreth approached and found a hammer on this forge and reached forward to pick it up. He could feel the weave itself pulling back from him, but he managed to grasp it and lift it. Everyone was looking around at these weapons, pocketing what they wanted. Cass, a little bit envious, looking at this hammer, obviously made by dwarves, just staring at it for moments, when a voice broke out from across the room. Thank you! You all look up to see a dwarf. His the top of his body completely bare, other than tattoos carved in with what looks like a knife. Magic circles and runes connected to each other. Just wearing plain chain on the bottom. A great axe across his back. He just starts running towards Medreth.
I take up a defensive position.
Yep, he comes straight at you and tries to grab at you.
Alright, I'll try to stop him.
Yep.
I have a feeling that's not going to work. 17.
Yep, so you try to stop him, get in his way, and his arms just wrap around you in a vice-like grip. Thank you! I've been waiting so long! He just holds you and hugs you close for a moment before releasing you and pushing away, a big grin on his face.
Kaz!
I can't believe you did it! You still hear the throat chanting and the hammering coming from far up, somewhere far beyond what you've seen.
Do I recognize him at all?
Is this a friend of yours?
Never met him in my life.
Ah, brother, he holds out a large hand to you to shake.
Where did you come from?
Where did I come from? I've been here for months, trying to get that damn thing. But you, come here! And he goes to hug you again.
I sidestep him this time.
Roll a dex.
I'm still exhausted. I take my negative penalty 1.
You take +1 hug. And he grabs you and lifts you off the ground, shaking you before dropping you. Big grin still plastered on his face.
Get this madman off me!
I'll plant my hammer on the ground and just reach out a hand to him for him to shake.
Yeah, he grasps it very firmly, shaking.
What are you doing here?
I'm here for that. And for what lies below, of course.
Is there anyone else?
All the others up there, of course. Wait. Who are you all? Why are you here?
They're here for me.
Why are you here?
I'm here for the eye.
You think you're going to... Oh, you did get the hammer, I suppose. But no, the eye is mine.
Well, we've taken one step further than you have.
Excellent. Follow me. He turns and starts walking across this lava-filled room towards a stony wall. And he just pushes it. And a hidden door swings open into a large antechamber.
I'd like to walk up next to Jafar and just be like, sort of like hold the hammer near where I think his bag of holding is.
I put the hammer into my bag of holding.
Yep.
Before this door's opened up, has it?
It's starting to, he's pushing it.
He's pushing it. Can I look around to see if Vilvana's come back down from down upstairs?
Yeah, so you saw Vilvana disappear, sneaking up the stairs a minute ago. You weren't quite sure what she was up to. You look around, you can't see anything. You're not sure if she maybe saw what was happening and thought it was too dangerous to come back, or if she's found something interesting, or maybe even got herself into trouble.
Is this guy's... After I've done that with the hammer, as soon as he's not looking at me, I'd like to mask of many faces again. And now there's a hammer on my belt. The rest of the disguise is the same.
Yep. So he opens this large door. You see behind him just an antechamber, a bit dusty, but also the floors look very well used, like someone comes down here quite often.
I leave a note next to the door in like thieves' cant, I guess.
Yep.
For Vilvana telling
So
him.
how do you do that?
How do I do that? Can I just leave like a piece of paper folded up?
If you can find a way to write it without being seen, or if you don't care about being seen, you probably could.
I will just try and sneakily write it in paper. Is there like slots in the bricks maybe?
It's solid stone down here, there's no bricks.
I just have to write it on the wall, I guess. And just be like, hidden door here, we went through here.
I mean, the floor's pretty dusty, you think you could probably crouch down and quickly jot something. And
Right.
You don't know how long it would last though.
I'll leave a note in like piece of paper and just like put it just kind of like hidden in a corner somewhere and then write in the dust.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
a bit more obvious.
Roll for stealth.
21.
Yeah, so you quickly write a note on a piece of parchment. Cool. You drop it in the corner. While this dwarf's pushing on the door, you figure he's pretty preoccupied. You figure it's fairly safe.
Cool.
He pushes this door and walks out of your view straight through.
I'll follow. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll just one last glancing look and duck in as well.
So as you following it closer to the door, you hear a quiet sobbing coming from inside. Stepping forward, you see chained to the wall 5 elves, 2 of which are still alive.
Drow.
Elves.
Okay.
Does anyone have any background with elves
That aren't drow.
that aren't drow?
No good background, really.
Okay.
Are they,
Is anyone proficient in history? You can roll a history for this one if you want.
10.
You know they're high elves. You don't know where they're from or what clan they're from. But you know they're definitely magic users just looking at them. Even though they're now completely in shambles, in rags, where their army used to be.
and looking sickly or?
Very unwell. If you didn't know better, you'd think they were dying. But you can't see any signs of injury or anything that would indicate it.
So the dwarf. What's with the prisoners?
Power, information. Isn't that right? He elbows one of them and they sort of wince.
Can I like inspect? You said they're chained up.
Yep.
Like it's like T pose sort of chained up.
Manacles to the wall in an X.
Okay. Can I just check the manacles, see if there's anything weird about them?
I grab him on the
yeah.
shoulder before he walks up to them and just like grab him and just.
Yeah, I mean, even from here, you can see they're very well made dwarven craft.
I ease off. Falling.
He continues across, these two elves still sobbing. They kind of barely even seem to notice you as you come in. Goes across, and across the way there's a giant wall. And in the middle, just a single golden circle with a hole in the middle. He goes, well, come on then!
Probably for your hammer, I guess.
The door, let's go!
Open it.
Points at the obviously hammer-sized hole. Says, yes!
Jafar walks up behind Meredith and he sort of pulls it out behind him. Hands it to him.
Logan being subtle, just grabs it. Kaz.
I'll walk up and examine the hole and just give the door a once over and not really trusting what the information he's just given me without my own personal look at it.
So roll investigation.
It's 13.
Yeah, so much like everything you've seen so far down here, it's ancient dwarven. It looks very well made. It looks like it's been recently used a lot, but inspecting the mechanism, you can see it hasn't been opened. So it looks like someone's been trying to get in here for a long time, unsuccessfully.
Is there just this guy and the prisoners in here?
In here, and some dead elves strung up the wall.
Okay.
I take just a quick glance at my dove. Trying to get a read off of it.
It's roll perception.
15.
You feel like it's not trying to get you out of there, but you feel like it definitely doesn't want to be here. You feel like it wishes it could communicate better with you.
Yeah.
There's definitely some tension there.
Did the door close behind us, the thin one?
No, that's sort of propped open.
Okay.
Quite a wide, thick stone door.
Okay.
So if I open this for you, what then?
We see what's on the other side.
I will if Kaz goes first.
Ain't no harm at the moment.
You may borrow it.
You just hear, no, no! Across the room, you look up, one of the elves seems to have snapped out of his stupor. Shut up, you! Barks at him.
I walk up to Cass, kind of like turn my back to the other door so he can't hear. Do you want me to charm this guy?
No, I'd rather be a little bit more forward about this, and I just start walking towards the elves. I'll walk up to her and I'll cast a Cure Wounds on her.
Yep.
Him. And I'll basically, what do you know?
Don't let him in there. Whatever you do, do not let him in. You see, roll perception actually.
What's that? That's a 13 again.
So the three of you see, while Cass is distracted trying to talk, this other dwarf walk up over the top of his back, draw an axe, rear it and just swing it straight down at the elf's head, and it just implants straight through the center, splitting its head in half.
Okay.
The door! Now, let's go!
I cast Hold Person on him.
Okay.
I don't know.
What's your DC?
14.
Yeah, what does it look like when you cast it?
Essentially just a brief, just like flash of light out of my hand as he just I'm guessing still holding said axe.
Yeah, so you do it, he just glows briefly, and his muscles seem to lock up with the axe still embedded in his elf.
I run towards him and say, Medreth, help me with this, and try to start prying any weapons on him off of his body.
He's only got the axe.
Then I'm trying to grab that off.
I try to remove his hands.
Yep.
Even quicker.
I walk up with my quarterstaff and swing the tip of it at his hands.
I try to stop.
Jafar's going to unlock the manacles.
Yep.
Fine. Dennis, try to disarm him.
Okay.
Lock my hand.
So you go to disarm him. He's obviously very strong. His hands are wrapped around this great axe. Roll strength.
Am I assisting him, or
with
am I
disadvantage.
strong enough to assist him?
You can both try.
Okay.
14.
14.
Athletics.
Strength.
13.
Strength check. 14.
14.
13.
Yeah, so you're both grabbing, trying to pry, even as you try and grab his finger to peel it away, it's just locked there from his strength and this magic that's been cast on him.
I'll grab essentially the axe underneath where it's lodged into the head and then just kind of tip him and just like pull the axe and him out of it and just plant him on the ground.
Yep. So roll strength.
Can I do something while he's doing this?
Yes.
I cast Hex on him and curse his strength.
Yep.
Not me. Look.
Obviously.
10. I rolled 10.
Yeah, so you go to, and it's just wedged in there, you can't pull it out.
Medreth, give me it.
I'm just going to watch the rest of the room, elves, doorways, everything, just in case.
The other elf still sobbing, sort of only vaguely aware of what seems to be happening around.
I break his fingers.
Whose?
The dwarves. The dwarf on the ground that we don't. The one that attacked the elf.
Okay. So between the two of you, you manage to pry him off and push him to the ground, where he sort of, with a heavy bang, hits and just rolls, axe still in his hands. Roll a lockpicking check.
That's just slide pound, yeah.
Yep.
24.
24. You feel there's a very good mechanism here. You feel it click just a little bit, but it just doesn't quite open.
No, I can.
Yep.
Nothing I can do for that one.
You see him grimace just a little bit, just moving slightly, trying to shake free of this magical bond, but just doesn't quite manage to get out.
Charming's still on the table. Time's running out.
I will healing word the other elf.
Roll Arcana for me. Or religion.
Charmed. 26.
You felt as you tried to heal the first elf that the magic worked, but it did nothing. They don't seem to need healing. Yep, so you slap the elf.
Yep.
Is this the elf you're trying to free?
Is there only one alive?
Yes.
Yeah, then yeah.
Yeah. And it just starts babbling in elvish, indecipherable words. And then just starts laughing maniacally. And then it just stops and stares forward.
Seeing this, I'm gonna stop trying to block.
I can bring the
This is
other
the
one.
one. This is the one that said, "Don't let him in there."
No, this is the other one.
The
Oh,
other,
okay.
the other one was dead.
Oh right, I recall that.
What's everyone doing at the moment?
Continuing to try to get this axe. I'm happy to break his fingers if I need be.
I'm gonna move to watch stun hold guard.
Yeah?
I'm just keeping watch
I'll take
The door?
one.
for any movement of anyone that isn't already there.
For the record, I dropped the hammer before I went over. So it's in the corridor, if there's a corridor.
So you drop the
The
hammer.
hammer is that's probably a couple meters back, closer
Okay.
to the lock.
The thing is how the other the elf isn't conscious at the moment. I'll take one of the wraps off of my hammer, exposing a bit of the gold underneath, and then I'll just proceed to just ram that into the dwarf's mouth as far and hard as I can to try and prevent any noise if he breaks out of it.
Yep, roll an attack. With advantage since he's immobilized.
Thank.
Well, 11?
11? Yeah, well, I mean, you managed to get in his mouth. You don't know how effective it would be.
But while I've got him like by the bottom jaw, I'll essentially grab him very. If you get out of this, you're dead.
Roll insight.
27.
You are certain that underneath all that frozen muscle, he's laughing at you.
If he breaks out of the whole person, Jafar has his short sword out and just gonna hit him with a flat of the blade to knock him out.
Yeah, roll perception for me, since you're watching out for other things.
13.
13? Okay. So you're pinning this door to the ground, you're sort of looking around, watching for the door, making sure nothing else is coming, and you hear this, "Get out! Get out while you still can!" And you look around, this elf that had his head cut in half is now fully healed, screaming at you.
Beautiful. You want to deal with that? I got some business to tend to, and I just drag the dwarf out into the forge, and I am basically prepping to just into the lava.
Okay, so as you're halfway out through the door, you feel the strong muscles release a little bit, and he just starts laughing maniacally as you're dragging him out.
Just
You can feel that the spell's been released.
yeah. Do you want to give me a hand throwing him into the pit?
Yes. Grab his other arm.
Yep.
Yeah, just drag him out, and if he starts fighting back, just straight into the lava over the forge.
He sort of turns his head, sees this geyser of lava that you left behind last time, sees he's being dragged towards it, and starts laughing harder than ever before. And he lifts his arms up, waiting for you to take his arms and drag him.
And for a penny, and for a penny. Just lob him in.
Yep. Strength check.
How willing he is to go.
This guy's strength is still cursed. 16.
17.
Yep, so between the two of you, you grab him and hurl him into this geyser of lava. And you just hear him laughing, and it sort of mixes briefly with a scream and then some more laughter, and it just stops.
Alright. Go back.
Back in the room, I hear this. I'm like, is everything alright out there?
We're fine.
Jafar approaches the elf that came back to life. Jafar would like to know what is through that door. What are you so?
We don't know. Nothing good. Do not let him through.
How did you come back to life? Jafar wishes to know.
They've cursed this place.
Shit.
The magics are powerful. They've drained it from us.
Jafar is curious. Does that mean we cannot die?
Not while you're here.
Oh, you can't. I hear you suddenly call out. You can't die while you're here.
My hex still on that guy.
You feel it, yes.
The lava will keep
The
him
dwarf
down.
is still alive.
You want to try and get these people out? This guy out? Take him out?
Jafar thinks perhaps we should leave him here. They seem quite mad.
Medreth.
This guy seems alright.
Dwarf.
Best you get out. Do not let him have the hammer. Take the hammer. Get out of here.
I grab the hammer, and I try to grab the hammer, and then I start heading towards the door.
Yep. Roll a strength check.
8.
Yeah, so you grab it and you go to run thinking, it's been picked up now, surely you can grab it. You start running and your hand just slips and the hammer's left behind you.
Can I, put a hand to my chest, clutch the symbols underneath, and then just try and pull with all my might?
Yeah, I'll let you do that with advantage.
1 out of 5!
Not meant to.
I just kind of spit on it, and then just kind of look at you and wait to it.
Strength check.
No, you can pick it up.
Where's Jan? I will get it. Small one.
Yeah, so you pick the hammer up.
I hate this place.
Still talking to the elf. Jafar wishes to know why are you down here.
We've been drawn here. Used for our information.
Where did
Used
you
for our
come
magics.
What information?
Information on how to do this. Curse this place. Kind of looks at the bodies hanging to his side, just able to move his head and sort of shakes his head.
What's wrong with them?
They fell before.
Are
They never stood a chance.
Are you the most recent one to be chained up here, or?
We were all chained at the same time.
So, Jafar wants to know if they're dead, does that mean the curse was put in after they died?
Yes. It was their sacrifice.
Did you put the curse up?
No. Not of my choice.
Who put the curse in place?
Roll Arcana.
You're going well tonight.
6.
He just looks at you and says, the dwarves. The ones above chanting. Always chanting. Striking with their hammers.
I take my hammer and I just try and smash into the chain and instead of trying to pick him free, just smash him down.
Yep, roll a strength check.
17.
Yeah, so you hit it and you feel it just bounce back.
Does it look like we could take this guy in a fight?
You don't know.
Fair enough.
He looks like he's basically dead, but doesn't have any damage.
Yeah.
And you feel like you could take anyone in a fight, and anyone could potentially take you in a fight right now. So it might not ever end.
Sounds. You're not wrong.
In the door with a hammer.
So you've gone up and opened it.
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay.
So you put it in, and these glowing runes of white light just start glowing around the lock itself, and the door you just hear open.
Take the hammer back again.
Yep, you take it out, and you hear something lock it in place again.
Click.
No demons came out, so that's a good sign.
Turn to the elf. Gonna have to leave you here.
Get out. Do not go further. Take the hammer and leave.
Too late. And just keep walking in.
Jafar follows.
You just hear him scream in anguish, and you hear just like the rattling of him trying to break his way out of the manacles he knows he can't.
It is the price of people who use magics.
I just keep walking.
You do not use magic, you call on the gods.
That's actually a fair point.
Then am I offended?
Jafar has seen you use magic.
I call upon them. It's coming. What do we see inside?
Just darkness, and with your dark vision, it just looks like a corridor that goes deep into the earth, as far as you can see.
So did you have to leave the hammer behind?
It's locked in the door. As you push the door open, it's still in there.
Yeah. And if you try and...
If we grab it and go inside, does it close behind us?
Are you going to try?
That's good.
Fine, I'll try. I'll try and grab the hammer for the 17th time. It's more stubbornness at this point.
Let's make sure we are live.
So I stand back up with all your blood on my weapon.
Everybody's dead. Possessed by the ghost dwarf.
I finished eating Jafar.
His heart was tasty. Are we back?
Not just yet, just making sure. If we are back and you're seeing this, please bear with us.
These guys are cursed. Let's,
Well, it's saying we are live. I don't know if I believe it, but it's saying we are.
So I will be reaching out with almost, insulting casualness to my actions to grab the hammer from the door.
Yep. You pull it, and the door starts sliding closed behind you.
I'll make sure I'm in the cave.
Yeah. Roll perception.
Nope.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, it's probably a lock on the other side.
Jafar checks the door. Is there a lock on this side?
No. There is certainly not.
Jafar points this out to everyone.
Does anybody...
There appears to be no lock here.
Would you rather fight the immortal dwarf?
I mean, the lava's taking care of it. I prefer a way out of the hole. Jafar does not like holes. It is dirty.
Supposedly you're a
pretty dirty.
dwarf as well now, though.
Would you like me to test this? Jafar pulls out his sword.
I nick just like my hand with my dagger just to see if it heals automatically or not.
Yeah, so you cut your hand and it just starts bleeding.
Regret. I wrap it up.
Medicine check.
I think you're going to have to roll some damage if you cut yourself.
Sure.
1d4.
Nothing. 1.
Forward then.
I guess we head down.
There's always a secret way out. This is a secret tunnel that leads to a tunnel. There's gonna be another way out.
I think this is the first time I've heard you be optimistic about something, Cass.
Well, I don't have a choice.
Jafar's going to stealth off ahead down the tunnel.
Roll stealth.
The greatest rogue in the land will scout it out for us.
23.
23. Yeah, so you managed to stick to the wall. It's very shadowy down here. There's no natural sources of light.
Yeah.
And you get to the end, and it opens up to a large chamber with a sunken floor.
I'll wait for everyone to catch up.
So after some time passes, you're all trudging down this path. You catch up to Jathar, who's staying at the corner, looking down to a sunken room.
How sunken?
You think you could probably, if you jump down, you'd be able to climb back up on the ledge to the path.
Is it look the thing that we just came through? Is it like raw, kind of just carved out? Came down, or was it steps?
Yes, it was raw.
It was raw, and is this more refined, like brick?
This is definitely carved.
Okay. Yeah.
Does it look like it's carved by clockwork spiders?
No, it looks like it's very dwarven work.
How? If it, can we jump down?
Yeah.
I jump down.
Yep.
I'll hold.
I will follow.
I'll stay on the ledge for now until they're too far away, and then I'll join them just in case.
Jathar, if you can hold this again, and hammer over.
Put the hammer in my back.
You
Please don't hit
hand it in the hand, it just drops.
And none of you weaklings strong enough. I pick it up and I place it in his bag.
I try again. Statistically.
I step back and look, waiting to laugh.
Alright, we're just going to pause for a second.
So, jump down, then give Jathar, we'll put the hammer in Jathar's that they were holding.
Yep.
What was ahead of us? It was just like a...
It just looks like it's a long, fairly wide cutout area of stone.
Is there a door on the other side, or is this a long hallway?
You can't see from here.
Okay.
Is there a rock?
Yeah.
I'll pick one
You
up,
find one?
cast light, and throw it down.
Yeah, how far can you throw?
I have no idea, but I have strength 20.
Roll strength.
Although I am exhausted. Can we take a nap at some point? 9.
9? Alright, so you throw this rock and it goes probably about 120 feet. It's still a fairly solid toss, fairly light rock.
It's got the spiral.
Everyone looking at you sort of is a bit surprised that you're so strong, especially being exhausted.
I am.
And it across the other side you do see a mirror image of what you've got here. So it ends and goes into another passageway that leads off into the darkness.
Guess we're trudging through.
On the ground ahead of us, are there any like divots or deviations in the stone floor, or is it just like sleek carved?
It is very, very smooth. Surprisingly so, even for dwarven standards.
I feel safer knowing that. And I confidently trudge forward.
Kaz. Yeah.
Roll investigation and arcana.
Kaz, you spoke of dwarven traps before. Perhaps let Jathar look.
I also said you won't be able to stop it.
10 for investigation and
Yes.
21 for arcana.
I would think.
So you can't find any traps, but you can sense this unnatural energy coming from somewhere in here. Under the stone somewhere.
Jafar senses a weird energy. Perhaps we should hurry up and leave this place.
Do I sense said energy?
Roll arcana.
23.
Yes.
Does it? So just a strange like magical essence.
Yes. You could roll history.
14.
I mean, you're a dwarf. You know, back in ancient times, dwarves used to use more magic than they do now. It was a very deep earth magic. You're sensing that from here. Often used to protect things of great value.
So it could just be below us, and it could be stairs down. Just keep going, I guess.
Yeah, so you keep making your way across this very smooth stone surface. About halfway, you just see this dim glow, and it just explodes out in all these dwarven runes.
I'm stopping and backing away.
Roll history with disadvantage. It is a dwarven script,
I can read it.
parts of it.
What was it? It was history. 15.
Okay. You're sort of looking at these runes. you pick out a couple of them. Death, betrayers, something that is dwarven for not one of us, an outsider. And then you pick up in the distance as it sort of starts creeping up the walls, poison.
Oh shit.
Jafar's backing away from runes.
I'm running.
So the runes are spreading faster than you can move across the room and up around the top.
Oh,
of the stone.
it's not just one ring, it's just everywhere.
They're exploding out from the centre of this room everywhere. And you ought to sort of be able to pick up those few words in between.
I just like scream,
Run! I'm following him.
Yeah, which way are you going?
continuing in.
Okay.
It's in front of us, isn't it?
Yes, quite rapidly.
Then I'll run backwards.
Yep.
I run forwards.
Yep.
I follow Kaz.
Yeah, I'm following Kat as well. I mean, I didn't even read the runes, so I don't know what's going on, I guess. So I'm just
Everyone's
running.
running towards it.
Oh, by
Follows.
Okay.
following Kaz, I mean I outpace Kaz.
Yep.
And try to reach other ends.
So Jathar turns and dashes the other way, notices no one else is going that way, turns and dashes and manages to quite easily outpace him. Pounces up onto the edge and sort of looks back as the ruins catch up to him. Everyone make an athletics check. Except
Yay!
for Jathar, already there.
Yes!
Natural 20, but it's still exhausted.
Did you say except for?
Yep, you're already there, you're safe.
I got a natural 20.
15, but it probably doesn't matter because it's probably going to catch me anyway.
17.
17. So you manage to just put everything into it and go faster than you're expecting to. You don't even know what the danger is, which is the irony of it. But you can see the panic of everyone else. You can see Jathar's turn and dash ahead, and you're just like, no, I'm getting out of here. You dash and jump up, grabbing onto the ledge in front of Jathar, just as the stone opens and gas just pours into this chamber, all around the edge. Make con saves.
With advantage, because thank God for that.
Yeah, thank God for that.
What?
23.
21.
Nice.
So you both start coughing. You can taste copper. There's something eating away your insides, even with those rolls. But you manage to make it to the edge. But you're feeling quite weak as you try and pull your way out.
Helping them up as much as I can.
Yep, so roll a strength.
13.
Yep, so you manage to pull up Cass. Medreth has fallen behind just a little bit, coughing, not quite as immune to this poison.
Yep.
Clambers up, throwing a hand up and over.
Help him up as much as I can as well.
Yeah, so
We're
roll
in a
strength.
similar tunnel, aren't we?
Yes.
Jafar's going to stop ahead and search for traps.
9. You're very heavy.
So you reach up to try and grab on, you feel a hand pull you up, and it just sort of slips, and you slip backwards. Roll another con save.
21.
Yeah, you start coughing, a bit of blood comes out, and you jump up again and manage to clamber over the top and collapse on the other side,
Can
taking a
I
level of
use
exhaustion.
him as a ladder, or at least grab onto the back of him? Because I'm sure my weight is inconsequential to his.
I mean, you can, but you're already up.
Oh, I went past. I just figured I was behind everybody.
So as I go up, you see the strength comes easy to me, but as I climb up, my hands are just shaking. My leg, as you saw when I was running, is a strong, painful limp there. Body's partially crippled, but I do have that strength and constitution to push through it in pain. And I just cough at the top.
So you make it to the other side, now you have 2 levels of exhaustion.
Awesome.
Oh.
So that's half speed.
Yes.
If we get some sleep at some point, I can help you.
Do you think this is a good spot to rest? Because, no offense, Medreth, looks like it's struggling.
Yes.
I'm glad to see some honesty.
Alright, so you stop and take a rest. How far up the passageway do you go?
Should we go to see where the passage
Leads.
Just to be
leads
clear,
into?
as you were standing here, you did notice this gas starting to seep up the passageway a little bit.
Let's go. Let's shuffle on.
Yeah, so how far up do you go? It goes quite a way. So you go 100 feet, it's still pitch black. You figure you'd be about safe there from the poison.
Yeah.
Or do we want to continue on to the next cabin, possibly, and then just kind of get a glimpse and.
Do we want him to huck a light rock? Because I've seen the man huck a rock.
Roll strength with disadvantage.
There's another natural 20 that I can't use. 9.
Yeah, so it goes about 90 feet bouncing, while he coughs, a bit of blood dribbling down his chin, and still manages to throw it much further than you think you ever could.
I agree, definitely. And it doesn't. It just ends and
It just bounces, and you see the cavern illuminated. It's still in darkness beyond.
I mean, there is unknown ahead, but at least we'll be able to see them coming from a fair while.
There may be more traps down there.
Yeah.
If you keep that, can you keep light up on that?
It will last for some time.
Because that'd be like a good way to see people coming.
An hour. And then you have to recast.
Okay.
Roll insight.
Me?
Yeah.
Not great. That is 9.
You're probably right. It would be a good thing if someone's coming up that way to have some light to see.
Yeah.
That'll give you some time to react.
Yeah.
You don't know if the poison gas is dissipated behind you, but
Could
maybe it's better to try and run back that way than whatever might show up down the other end.
could have light on both sides. One to see poison gas approaching, one to see people or unknown.
Perhaps we could burn the gas away.
I don't know anything about poisons.
If we're in your little hut, it's fine, right?
It's true, but if it doesn't dissipate, then we're just sitting in a glass case of eventually breaking into a room of poison. But if we're on watch, we can see it coming and just get up and go.
Sounds good.
Are we gonna have a light down there, but you need to recast and throw a rock every, and then one of
I can do it as
you
well.
can do it as well. I can't. You can't.
I mean, you can all see down these tunnels a fair way anyway, with your dark vision.
Okay.
So you figure, part of you's like, well, we probably have the drop on it, and then you think, well, if anything's living in these dark caverns, they probably have the same advantage we do.
Yeah. Alright. I'll start building the hut.
So 10 minutes passes, nothing seems to happen, everything's just dead silence in the heart of the earth. Other
Apart
than
from my slow lute playing.
The occasional
slow
cough.
loop, occasional cough, and just the thrum of the earth. You can sense that lava that was travelling through everything is somewhere far below you.
Is it warm?
It's not as cold as you'd expect. It's not warm, but it's not the ice.
Compared to
cold
up
of-
above, this is pretty comfortable.
It's, yeah, I mean, touching the rock, it doesn't feel cold, and being completely pitch black underground, you'd think it would be.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes later, what does your hut look like?
Just dark, sort of to match the colour of the rock.
So just kind of a shadow that blends in?
Just trying to like, almost like the shadows extending out from the wall.
Yeah, okay.
Just covering the hut.
So you build the hut, and it's ready to go. Are you all just going to take a rest now? You're going to do
I
watches?
stopped ahead, so I want to explore to the end of the tunnel.
Yep, okay. Roll a perception check.
Twelve.
Roll a dex saving throw.
16.
Okay. Jathar's gone ahead. He hasn't come back for a little while.
How long's a little while?
How long have you waited so far?
3 minutes.
Not back.
Huh?
Not back
Not
yet.
back. Star's been gone for 3 minutes now.
It disappeared for an hour before.
I'll smash my shield against the wall as loud as I can to see, or as hard as I can to try and get it to echo,
Mhm.
and then just shout, "Jafar!"
Yeah, so you hear just echoing to the distance until you can't hear it, and you shout for Jathar. You don't hear any response.
I send message down the thing to Jathar. Like, are you okay? Report back. It's like 120 feet, right?
Yeah, you don't get a response.
He's not responding to my message.
Fine, I will check.
You have seen Jathar like disappear very quickly though. If you he'd make 120 feet in moments almost.
I will head down.
So you travel through the dark, sort of limping on your staff. Make a perception
Do you want
check.
to go with him? I'll be alright in my hut for now.
Good call.
7.
Make a dex saving throw.
Yay! No. Let's just go with no. Let's just.
Yeah, I was gonna head down with him. I've got light in my shield.
You're heading down too.
Yeah.
As you're
Okay.
playing, I'm like just strumming a nice like marching tune, and I inspire you with bard inspiration.
Are you following as well?
No, I'm staying in the hut.
Okay.
So I got light out in front of me, and I'm just I'm either with him or not too far behind him. So if I stop hearing his armor clang,
Yes, you stop.
I'm immediately wary, and I just kind of like edge forward like ever so gently.
Make a strength check for me.
Check a save.
Check.
19 down on that one.
Cool. You hear his armor stop, then you hear it clank again and then stop.
Look up.
Yep, so the cave you can see ahead of you is now starting to open into a chasm. And just in the distance you see two glints of something silvery reflecting back from your light.
Do I see his light just like stop suddenly as he's been marching along?
If you're at the hut, it's further up than you'd be able to see.
Okay.
I'll reach down to grab a pebble or something, and then I'll just like cast light and hook it in and see if I can. So it deactivates one of my shield, and I'll see if it lights up them in the cavern without walking in.
Yep, so you throw the stone and it bounces, and all you see is two what look like piles of fine chain. Quite tall. On the cavern, which is fairly open, but very high.
I'll shout for both of them.
Yep. You don't hear a response, but you do hear just a very faint skittering of metal on stone.
I turn around, walk back up to Valius, walk into the hut and go, "Come on, way to go save some people."
Shit.
How long does this last for?
I stand up and walk out, and it dissipates all around me until I step out of it.
Oh, well, that's pleasant.
March down behind you.
Cast my shield again and walk out. Now, there's a pile of chain in there, and I'm going to assume that they've been taken by it. That, or they're stuck to the roof, and there's clockwork spiders. I don't know.
Looking for a treat, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And just make our way in there.
Yep, roll perception.
You know what?
Where's that player's handbook for the TPK?
That's a 12.
Roll a dex save.
Natural 20!
So you walk in, you're not really sure what to expect, but you've come across these clockwork spiders before, so you're wary. As you move in, you see one of the chains move slightly. It draws your attention, and you hear metal on metal sound, and you just instinctively dive out of the way as a chain hits the ground next to you, bouncing off, and you look up and you see one of these clockwork spiders, metal eyes gleaming down at you on the roof. And you see this from inside the cave just before you step in.
Alright. Can I start? No, I won't start casting that again.
You've both sort of, through this chain encasement, noticed that they're here, and your resolve is doubled and you try and struggle your way out. Roll a strength check.
12.
16.
So Medreth, struggling against it, just feels it wrapped tighter around. You manage to break a little bit free and you feel a couple of the links split.
Can I make an acrobatics track to slide out?
You can make another strength check and then an acrobatics or an athletics check.
Alright.
It's not quite broken enough yet to get out.
Orange for the strength. Six for strength.
No.
So you're so focused on trying to sort of get out after you break it that you forget to properly break it, and you try and move and it just gets caught up even more. But you two now see these piles of chains moving, and can tell that there's something inside trying to get out.
I ask him, how many spiders are there?
One that I can see.
How far can you see?
120 just, I think. Oh wait, no, it's pitch black room, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, 60 feet.
in grayscale.
And he's losing. I assume you can't see the whole room.
No, you can't see the whole room from here. It's open up to a wide chasm.
Yep, right. Sick.
I will move as quickly as I can to one of the chain piles.
As soon as he starts moving, I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy to shake anywhere where I think they might be.
Yep.
That's all I've got.
Make a dex save.
6.
So you dash to this pile of chain and you just feel something whip and wrap around you as you're running. And it wraps most of the way around you, and then the ground just starts shaking. And you just feel this line go a bit like it's still wrapped around you, but it doesn't feel like it's being anchored anymore.
As I turn, as this hits me, I turn to him and I just, I scream, "Earthquake!"
I don't have an earthquake.
God damn!
You can roll a strength check with advantage to break this one and keep going.
You've got bardic inspiration. I will take that.
Okay, so that 17.
Yeah, so because it didn't manage to wrap its way fully around you, you sort of grab it, rip it off. It doesn't break it, but you manage to loosen enough to just keep going over the top.
And I will. So do I get to the chain pile?
Yep, you get to one of them.
Does it look like it's moving on its own?
It looks like there's something inside it moving.
Do I have a view of all this from here, or do I have to get into danger zone?
Yeah, no, you'd be able to see it from here.
Okay.
I guess I'll just grab the like the center of the chains as much as I can and try and reef.
Yep, roll a strength check with advantage.
The 16.
So you can see something moving outside, you just feel some of the chains being ripped free.
Can I get an estimation on how many spiders seem to be shooting chains around?
Roll a insight.
6.
No idea. At least one of them.
One. More than one. I'm positive.
I'd like to keep struggling. I'm trying to get one hand free so I can cast.
Yep, so roll strength.
17.
Yep, so you have your arm pinned to you and you sort of manage to just flex and push your hand through outside the chains.
I want to Eldritch Blast the chains away.
Yep, okay. So, yeah, that should be not too much trouble. After a few blasts, they start falling away. In front of your face, you see the chains drop and you see Cass trying to tear chains off something else that's been caught.
Yep.
I'm just keeping Thaumaturgy up to hopefully disturb them.
Yep. So as you're watching, you do see at least 3 of these mechanical spiders sort of skitter into view, dashing for something that's not there, spraying chains at something that's not there, and disappearing again into the darkness.
I'm going to keep doing that then.
I will also climb onto the chains in an effort to try and diffuse my movements through the chains.
Yes. Okay. Make a dex save.
13.
Yeah, so you step onto the chains, thinking the safest way to do it is to be off the ground. As you step on it, you feel just a bit of tension, and you look up, and one of these chains is still going up to something in the roof, and another chain shoots down and starts wrapping around you.
Can I fire Eldritch Blast at the whatever shot at him?
Yeah, make a roll to see if you can hit.
One will miss. One is an 18. No,
Yes.
it's a bit more than that. But yeah.
Are you trying to hit the spider itself or the chain?
One's a 23. Just it's wherever, roughly where it's coming from, but the spider itself.
Yep, okay. Yep, so what do your chaos bolts look like? Oops.
Eldritch Blasts,
Eldritch Blast,
only 2 damage. I assume they're pretty radiant in colour, so they're pretty like bright yellow,
Yeah.
maybe a bit silvery almost. Come out my hand where there's that symbol on it. My hand glows. My eyes probably glow a little bit as I do it as well.
Yeah, so it arcs through the air and impacts on metal, and it actually sparks as it hits it. And you see these mechanical eyes glimmer and then snap shut. Almost looks like it's blinking.
I'm going to keep doing that.
I'll seeing as how I've got it's like kind of taut around me.
It's just got hit by some sort of strange energy, and it seems to have lost its concentration, but it has still started to wrap around you like the last one.
If I see where the chain, because you said it was still connected up to where the pile was, it was still connected up there. I think
Yeah.
you said. I'm going to pull out my light crossbow and kind of just like try and just like pin right in between one of the links and fire.
Yep. Roll with disadvantage.
9.
When the links are tiny, you're kind of hoping that the head itself will pierce.
Yeah.
It just hits the ground and skitters off, sliding into the wall.
Just put it away. And I guess I will keep digging.
Jafar continues to try and break out of his chains.
One of these spiders recovers from this bolt of energy, looks down at you, seeming to be using its eyes for the first time you've seen, and just jumps from the ceiling at you. It misses and just lands next to you on the ground, but turns and it rears up and looks larger than you stand.
I will swing at it.
Yep.
Do we have a light on in this room at the moment?
No, yeah.
No, I'll swing it with my quarterstaff.
I mean, there's no shield, but
Yeah, but it's on.
25.
Yep, so that hits.
Oh, that's a lot of damage for a quarterstaff.
Surprising
17.
amount, some would say.
Yes, some would say suspicious about. But there's a definite. My wooden quarterstaff makes a metal and metal noise and does 17 damage.
Yeah, as it comes down, just cuts clean through one of these spiders' legs. As it drops and the leg starts flopping about on the ground, skittering around by itself. As the spider comes back up, obviously it doesn't feel pain.
Yeah.
I'm just keep trying to get Jathar out.
Make a perception.
Nice. 20.
So you're standing there casting thaumaturgy, the ground's shaking, disrupting them, and you just see the tip of a silver leg poke around the top of this cave entrance.
Oh. Just like crawling into like from the room towards me.
You would think so from the look of it.
Shit.
And after a moment, it does. You just see these eyes come around,
Oh,
followed by
nice.
a large mechanical head, and a second leg push its way into the top of it.
I cast invisibility on myself.
Yep.
And then run into the room while still
Um,
using thaumaturgy. Can I do it?
Thaumaturgy using concentration.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Cool.
So you go invisible, dash underneath you. You see its head track you as it just lunges straight above you and pins you to the ground. Make a dex or strength save, your choice.
Definitely still sucks. 12.
So it pins you to the ground and you take 13 piercing damage as its leg just punctures into you, pinning you there. You will probably hear this.
Yeah, I yelp out in pain.
I, as a bonus action, will cast a spiritual weapon and look and cast one over at the spider that's just jumped on Valleys.
Yeah.
Seeing as how the one above me jumped over to Medreth and then use my action to keep digging.
What does your spiritual weapon look like?
It is just a ornate, just like kind of like a pick hammer, big flat edge with a spike on the other end.
So that appears over the spider and it just starts swinging at it. Everyone's sort of managed to shake free of their chains now. There's one spider with a leg missing, one pinning Valius, and from what you can tell, possibly more, but you can't see them.
I'm going to swing at the one in front of me. I'll use it.
Yeah, so I'll roll the attack for Yee. What was that, 15? It's 15 hit?
Doesn't know. So your spiritual weapon swings and it swings as it's trying to pin Valius to the ground, so it's kind of clambering and it just misses as its body twists and rotates around the top of your companion.
Jafar would like to try and move from his but he wants to move softly and sneakily so he doesn't make any noise.
Yep, so you saw Cass step on this chain and they immediately attacked him, so you figure while the ground's shaking like this, it's best to just stay on the ground. So roll stealth.
22.
Where are you headed?
Just an open place where there's no chains, relatively.
Yep, so you managed to find that fairly quickly.
And I'm going to pull out my crossbow and shoot at the one on values.
Yep, okay. Roll to hit.
23.
Yep, that'll hit.
I have a
1
plan.
damage. 5 damage.
5 damage. So you hit it and it glances off, but it does manage to get into a little nook of something where the armor connects. You hear a slight snap. Whether it was a spider or a bolt, you're not sure.
And I keep a wary eye out for any spiders poking out to ride me noise.
Yep, roll perception.
18.
Yeah, so you don't think anything's around here, you think the vibration of the ground and the walls are distracting them.
So I swing down. I'm going to hit it for 11, but I just put my foot down. It's like try to push it back a bit, take a proper swing.
Yep.
And I'll kneel again, 11 damage. Then I look over at Valius and I'm just like, get up and fight Tiefling. My eyes glow golden for a second and heal 2 hit points.
Thank you. So you manage to swing down and cut another one of the spider's legs off as you're doing this.
Okay. This is my plan.
Make it good.
I've just discovered that with Thaumaturgy you can make tremors in the ground for up to 1 minute.
Yes.
So I'm going to free action, drop my light, and then just like scatter, and just essentially just like, and just make little tremors all the way throughout the room.
So that's already happening most of the way into the room for what Valius is casting.
I'm gonna
Send it all the way
as well.
Yeah.
Or I'll send it out to Medreth, but I've also dropped the light, so there's no light in here whatsoever. And then we'll start moving to the other side of the room.
Yep. The ground starts vibrating. Roll a stealth check as you move to the other side of the room.
Natural 20.
Yeah. So you walk, you actually accidentally walk quite close to this spider that Medreth is fighting. But you sort of just in time stay low and get around, make no movement at all as you move. And get past it.
And then I'll prepare for the next round.
Am I actually pinned?
You can try and get out.
I can't just walk away though.
No.
Yeah, cool.
Not unless you've got something up your sleeve to do so.
Nah, not really. What am I?
You can either strength your way out or you can try to athletics your way out.
13.
But you don't succeed.
That's what I thought. Apart from that, I'll just sit there and struggle.
Right. So it lunges another leg, piercing down into you for 8 damage. And the one you're fighting just lunges at you, trying to sweep the leg that's no longer there, but the part of the metal does just jam into your side, and you take 9 points of damage.
Can I hellish rebuke the one that started me?
Yep.
Yeah. Dex save. 16. Makes a dex save 16.
It chooses to fail.
Fair enough.
Because it's going to suit power.
I'm burning myself light by now.
I just remembered that.
7, 8, 15.
Yep. What does your hellish rebuke look like?
It stabs me in the chest, and then I grab it and just almost looks like I'm super heating it, but just black smoke comes out and envelops around it and just sinks into its body.
Yeah. So you see this black smoke go around and sink into its body, and you see these mechanical eyes just start glowing, and some cracks in its armor start glowing with this molten red. Roll a insight check.
Oh, that's 20. 23.
You've seen a few of these down here. You've seen no one maintain them, but you've seen a lot of lava.
Yeah.
You figure, looking at this is probably the source of their power, how they're still going after so many centuries.
Alright. Cool, just give them a little battery boost.
Save them the trip.
Jafar would like to stealth over towards the one on him and slash it with swords.
Yep, so roll stealth.
19.
Yep, so you managed to get over there. Roll a hit.
Orange is no. 20 and 14.
Yep, so 20 will hit.
– 8 7 damage.
So you managed to hit right where the bolt did, and you're pretty sure something snapped in there, and you see its leg go a little bit limp.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's one of the ones pinning Valius.
Thank you.
So if you want to get out now,
You keep struggling?
could try again with advantage.
I'm struggling all the time. Advantage. And yeah, 16.
So you managed to get out.
Nice. I start running.
Yep. Running.
I start softly using my thaumaturgy quakes to mask my movement running.
That's a better idea.
Yeah.
So you roll stealth.
No, I'm not invisible at all. That didn't matter though, apparently. Oh, that's rough. 10.
Yeah. So you start trying to sneak off, and you see now, because it's glowing red, the spider mechanical beast just stare after you.
Yeah.
And you see its leg get ready to start pushing it towards you.
I brace for impact.
What's this roof made of here?
You can't see the roof, but you'd think down this low, the way it's been worked, probably just raw stone.
And everyone started to run.
5.
I'm standing in the doorway.
I'll hold my hand up and I'll Eldritch Blast the roof.
Yep.
And if rubble falls down, as soon as it starts hitting the floor, I'm going to catch up to them.
Roll a d20.
I'm certainly not running, but I'll catch up to them and defend their exit. 16.
Yeah, okay. So you hit the roof with this blast of energy. And you do see, as it hits, a couple of glints of metal on the roof. Probably more mechanical spiders.
Exactly. No drawbacks.
You do see just a little bit of dust falling down.
I run.
Yep.
I'll take like 10 feet to the left of the doorway, and I'll just like grab the hammer and start wailing on the side of the room, and just kind of like making as much noise as I can, and basically causing the tremors to be around me exclusively.
Yeah. So the spider that's glowing, you were in front of it.
Yep, I'd like to make an attack against it and then leg it.
Yep.
To values. 10 and 11.
So you're getting ready to run, you swing at it, just sort of stepping back as you do and missing completely.
Yeah.
Do you have expeditious retreat or something that's going to stop it from getting an attack? No. But luckily it is so confused by you trying to hit it as you run that it swings at you and misses also.
Yeah, I'm going to use my feline agility and try and stealth run after it.
Yep, so roll stealth. And I'll get you to roll a dex save.
10.
12.
So the one you were fighting, you took two of its legs off, you dashed past it, it's just turned and spun a web at you and it's caught you around the legs. Roll a...
How big are these things?
They stand tall, almost as tall as you.
Can I just keep running and drag it?
You can roll for it.
It's
going to be strength with disadvantage. And you did take two of its legs off, so...
8.
Yeah. So you think maybe I could just drag this thing and you just get caught, you try to roll another dex save.
Is it my good leg or my bad leg? 6.
So you run and get pulled from the legs and just face down onto the floor and take 4 bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
This glowing spider now skitters into the rooms, and all the ones that were looking fairly confused with the vibrations start looking a bit less confused as this glow permeates the room, illuminating you all.
Is Medreth within 20 feet of my spiritual weapon?
You could probably move it to within range.
Yeah, I'll try and get it within range of where the web is coming out, and I won't try and like hit the chain or whatever it is. I will attempt to just like bend it with the spiritual weapon, seal over that like orifice.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, 13.
13. So you're trying to seal where the web's shooting from?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just underneath its face it seems to be coming from. You bring your spiritual weapon and it does a big uppercut. And it looks like it has sealed it.
And then I'll move into the hallway a bit more.
Yep.
Get back out of the doorway and just get ready to run. Well, I'm Medreth.
Roll perception for me.
One day I won't be at disadvantage. 17.
So you sort of get pulled, you hit the ground, you sort of roll over to see what's grabbed. You see this giant spider, and above it you do see this dust still falling from the ceiling.
My turn. Do I think a guiding bolt would do more than 2 Eldritch Blasts?
You're not sure?
I'll do 2 Eldritch Blasts then. Yeah, I'll try to keep on heading back.
Yeah.
If I...
Roll strength to see if you can pull away while you're caught.
Yes.
Yeah, so you...
Sorry. I had disadvantage. I rolled a natural 20 and I had +5.
So you managed to actually, as you're pulling back, you just wrench your leg up, where this spider's been sealed closed where the web comes from, it snaps. So you've got this length of chain wrapped around your leg as you're pulling back, but you start clambering back across the floor.
And in anger, I just release these bolts at the roof.
Yep. Roll 2d20s.
19 and 12.
Yep. So you hit this ceiling with these eldritch blasts, and you just see chunks of rock starting to fall. Small ones now, they start hitting the spiders and bouncing off, skittering across the floor.
Leave! I will bring the ceiling down.
I'm still running, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna run and shoot my swords and then ready to dart when any spiders come near me.
Yep, so everyone that's going for the door make a dex check.
9.
12.
Yeah, so you're both running. Now the ground's vibrating not just with your magics that's starting to have rocks collapse on it. And you both sort of stumble a bit and fall behind, and some of the mechanical spiders are starting to gain on you, watching you as you try to escape.
I'm gonna run in there.
Yeah, okay.
You're
What
running
do you do
up.
when you run in?
I'm essentially just. How far away would Medreth be to me?
He's probably 60 feet away. The others would probably be about 30 now.
Did we pass Medreth?
Yes.
As we pass him, I probably darts at whatever's got him.
Sorry?
I probably darts at whatever's got him. It's just like a chain that's wrapped around.
He's already managed to get himself free. He's just sort of getting back to his feet now, throwing magic at the ceiling.
There's nothing I can do for the moment. I will just stand by the door.
Yeah.
Like sprinter's stance, just like.
Running yourself?
Yeah.
Yep. So both make a dex check again.
12.
20.
So you managed to just drop to all fours, riding yourself, and just dash through, managed to get out of the room. You're still stumbling a bit as you're trying to go forwards. And you're just not making the distance you need to, and the spiders are almost on top of you now.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I turn around and see. So he's close to the door. How far away is he from me?
He's probably about 15 feet now.
Okay, so is there a spider between me and him?
They are starting to converge. You could probably or possibly get to him, you're not sure.
If I approach an enemy, I can move a lot quicker.
If you go for it, yeah, if you go for one of the spiders.
But if
You'd probably have to flank behind him to charge it.
Yeah, I'll move 60 feet if I need. If it's towards the exit and him.
Yep.
And then I'll just axe it in the face.
Yep, okay.
I'm here to ask you a question. That will hit. Whoops, quarter stuff it to the face. 14 damage.
Yep, so you come down on the top of the head of one of them that's about to lunge on Valius, and you just manage to pin it to the ground with your sheer strength.
Much appreciated. I get up and keep running.
Yep. You're 15 feet away now. Even if you're stumbling, you sort of manage to get to the exit. You do know some larger rocks are falling now, but it seems to have slowed down a bit, and the spiders are starting to come out of the woodwork, so to speak.
Jafar's going to pull out his crossbow again, reload it, and fire at whatever one. A spider approaches Medreth.
Yep. So the one that was attacking you is now charging after you, so you could shoot for that one.
18.
That will hit.
7 damage.
So you shoot, and it just seems to disappear into this mechanical monster. And you just see a scattering of cogs and metalwork fall out from underneath it. So it stumbles a bit and then attacks you. And it does 19 damage as it just barrels into you.
Yep.
As it does, it hits you, and you notice that it's looking very hurt. There's a lot of parts of it seem to be missing now. Roll a strength save.
16.
Yeah, so it almost pins you to the ground as it hits you, but you manage to just stumble on your bad leg and just push yourself through the pain, standing upright to make it towards the door.
Sorry.
So I still have the spiritual weapon up.
Yep.
So I'll move it up to the back of the one that's chasing him and try and whack it.
Yep, roll a
Slow
hit.
it down. What's my good die? 15.
That hits.
Nope. Can't remember if spiritual weapon does
Yeah, plus wisdom.
it is plus wisdom. Cool. So 7.
7?
Yep.
Yeah, so you manage to make this giant glowing pickaxe essentially come down on the back of this spider, and the metal just cracks and splits, and it falls apart, and its legs start going one way while the rest of its body falls apart and goes the other way.
Beautiful.
And as you see, the roof almost starts looking like it's alive with movement as the other ones start twisting and coming towards you.
How close is Jafar to me?
He's through the door. You're probably only 15 to 20 feet away now.
So I run up to him and I reach for his bag of holding and I pull the hammer out.
Yep.
And then I call out in sort of very lyrical, musical tones of Celestial, stop, and brandish the hammer.
It doesn't seem to be paying any attention. Roll perception.
That 20 is not going to count. 17.
You're in a Dwarven forge, and all the runes engraved are Dwarven. You figure if there was any language they understood, it would probably be that.
And then I look, I'm Kaz, what'd I say?
In every single dwarvish script that I know, I say, stop.
They don't seem to do anything, but you do feel the hammer glow slightly in your hand.
I start repeating him as he's doing that.
It feels like it's buzzing as you're saying it, but it's not doing anything.
I'm getting a response. Keep running and tell me what to do.
I don't know, I start singing a dwarven prayer.
Yeah, sure. Are you going to recite it for us?
Oh god, I don't know it. not by memory anyway. I'll have to look up in my spare time. Off stream some dwarven prayers.
So you feel like the roll insight, both of you.
19.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I've got a natural 20 on
Again.
disadvantage again. That's about the 9th I think I have to give up. 11.
Yeah, that's been rolling very well at disadvantage. Too bad about the other
Not
one.
exhausted, it's going to be terrible.
I think he's lost in the first 10 minutes of session 0. Anyway.
You think back to the chanting and the Dwarven throat chanting you had before. You think there's definitely something about Dwarven script, Dwarven voice, the Dwarven language. But looking at these, doesn't seem like this is going to be a power to control it. It opened a door. Controlling these is probably more of a something else. But you do notice that where the hammer's held, some dust is starting to fall from the stone.
I'll read it when we start.
I switch hands, and if one comes near me, I'll bash it with a hammer.
Yep. One does come to you fairly shortly.
Alright. A proficient, I assume.
Yes.
That's probably gonna hit. Plus 8, no, that's 17.
Yeah, that hits.
Assuming there's no bonuses. What do I roll?
Nothing. It strikes down on this clockwork spire and it just breaks into parts, almost neatly.
I get like just the biggest crafting hard on.
So you see the cogs all sort of fall out, not neatly but fall into a pile, and the legs disassemble and collapse and it just deactivates and shuts down exactly where it was.
Jafar's going to run 30 feet back down the tunnel away from the entrance and wait for any spiders to approach you.
Yep. From what you've seen, you think it's a fairly small entrance. Probably none of them are going to get through if they can keep hitting them on the way through.
No.
I grab a leg.
Yeah.
I'll wait till everyone's clear and I'll do a fighting retreat.
Yep, so they are still coming for you. There's quite a lot of them now.
I'll sit behind him and just throw cure wounds into the back of him every now and again.
That would be appreciated.
So as one comes and attacks you, swing to hit.
Same.
Yep, so that hits.
Yep.
Just falls apart into pieces of clockwork and metal. Another one clambers over the top.
More.
Yep. You see one of the larger cogs sort of hit and roll back down this passageway.
Like a tyre from a car crash.
Exactly like a tyre from a car crash. They're still coming at you.
10 health. I'll give him 10 health though.
Yep.
The second level cure wound.
Another one lunges over the top and you can see glow coming from behind it now.
More.
Yep. Parts are just filling the entrance now.
My retreat's getting a bit slower as I'm just enjoying this just a little too much. Like, bam! Bam!
You see another one clamber over, and just behind it you see the edge of the one that's still glowing red with flame. But the first one is now upon you.
Yeah. That it.
Yep.
Standing behind him, I would grab, like I'm behind him and go, as much as I'm enjoying this, get in the goddamn room.
And as he says this, the glowing one lunges over.
One more. 19. Quick.
Yep.
Bam! Crit hammer.
So you just draw it back and you're having so much fun, you just rain it down. It hits this glowing spider and it just stops for a moment. It doesn't fall apart like the other ones. For just the briefest moment, then it literally explodes, shooting springs and cogs everywhere.
I take cover behind Medreth.
I assume I get cut up. I'm like, ha ha ha.
And as this happens, the blast back from it just rocks through the whole cavern, and you hear the telltale thud of the roof caving in from where you weakened it. You see a spider clamber through and just get crushed by a giant piece of falling debris.
Sort of slightly cockily, just turn my shoulder, see you carrying and walk past you.
I grab another leg. I'm just jogging. So yeah, where's that room lead to?
So you keep walking, it's another passageway. Eventually it leads to a dead end.
Push on the wall.
You push it and it doesn't move.
I look for a secret entrance similar to the one we walked in through.
Roll investigation.
Jafar says,
While he's doing that, heal you for 3 hit points. Yeah, you're pretty hurt.
Yeah, really hurt.
15.
Sorry, 4 hit points.
You notice there's the sense of a breeze coming through underneath. You know it's too far down to be a breeze from outside, but you were thinking you're getting fairly deep into the earth now. You're probably near this lava flow, which can create movement in the air.
I'll try and push on it, and if it doesn't move, I'll tell Medreth to hit it with the hammer.
So you're pushing on it. As you do so, roll a insight.
18.
While you're investigating this this wall, you could feel that airflow coming from beneath, but not the sides. You'd think this is probably a test of strength that dwarves have left here to lift this giant stone block to get through.
I sort of walk up with the hammer, as was suggested, and still with the adrenaline coursing through my body of the combat and the violence and the pain and the fact that I destroyed all these things. I just walk up and I'm like, oops. Can you bit that out for me, Kaz? And I just look at it all, it's huge.
Just
grin
like,
on my face.
I would just like dead eye you with intense furiousness and I'm just...
I put my hand on your shoulder and say, don't let him bully you, Cass. And I bardically inspire you.
You grab it and you swear you can feel it budge and you smile from ear to ear and then you realise it's just not moving.
Jafar, intrigued by this game, tries to pick it up.
Medreth certainly not
I got one.
Out of sheer rage, I kick the hammer, probably stub my toe, and then just like underneath the door and try and lift it.
So Jathar reaches down to try and lift it up, and you just, out of anger, that can kick and hit him right in the paw, and do 2 bludgeoning damage.
Why you hurt Jafar?
I don't even notice, I'm still lifting the door. 17?
So you manage to get your hands just underneath it. You find some soft earth that you can grab it with, and you try and lift it, and it just doesn't seem to move.
I'm gonna throw my back out.
Can more than one of us, like, can we do it all together?
You feel like you probably get 2 people across?
I do not.
Take the hammer back up.
Jafar sits in a corner and licks his paw.
Yeah, Medreth walks up and he sort of looks at his quarter staff, which he's going to have to put down. It's like, leans it against the wall, takes his hand off, and it shimmers back to being this giant war axe.
Grab it. Look what I can pick up, throw it in lava.
No lava in here yet.
Oh no.
I mean, no lava in here or ever will be.
Leans down.
So both roll strength.
Still exhausted.
Oh no.
I rolled 2, so 7?
I got it.
I look at Jathar and just look at him struggling. It's like, I feel like we can do a better job than them.
Jafar is
As you're doing that, my hand slipped, I'm just going crack.
We can
As
definitely
that happens,
do a better job.
Medreth hits himself in the face, and the shudder makes Cass just pull down and face plant into the stone.
We can definitely do a better job than that.
Yes.
I want to try.
We want to try.
I stepped aside.
Is this just straight strength?
Yes.
Oh god.
Do I have any strength?
Shimmers back to quarter staff.
Oh god. 8.
Ooh,
Nice.
18.
So you both get underneath it, and you see Jathar's side just starting to shift a little bit, but it's just not doing the job.
I'm sorry.
And you start thinking all the stories you've heard about this Tabaxi might just be true.
Jafar, the mighty warrior.
Although, to be fair, I didn't really listen to them properly. I think this might... no, we haven't been travelling that long since our rest, have we?
Since your rest?
Yeah. Oh, no, we never actually rested.
No,
No,
we didn't rest.
you're still very
If I went on
close.
and he didn't come back.
Ooh, I'm still too exhausted.
Yes.
I think perhaps we should rest here, then breach this door. My arms are tired from carrying that hammer around.
Can you put that hammer on the ground? Because my whole watch I'm just going to be trying to lift that.
I take the hammer, I just like, hammer drop.
Jafar offers to take first watch.
Yep.
Alright.
I set up the hut.
Jafar tries to lift the hammer the entire time. And put it in his bag of holding.
I'm not sleeping for the first 3 hours, that's my whole goal.
Can take it in turns.
Yep.
If you're doing that, each of you roll 3 strength checks for me.
Just lean back with the most like cocky stance.
20, 15.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
Question is, who was doing it first?
19.
21.
Okay, roll an Arcana.
24.
So you're taking it turns. Jathar, you see just before your next turn, you see him, you do see it slide across the ground just a little bit before he loses grip. You're like, no way. You grab it and you just concentrate, and you go to lift it really hard, and it just comes with great ease, and you're just holding it.
Jafar loosened it for you.
Now I'm going to take this moment. This is the only reason I wanted to hold this. To identify it.
Yep, so you spend 10 minutes to identify it.
4 days trying to lift it. 10 minutes to identify it.
I see him pick it up and I say, "We're all very proud of you," and then I roll over and go to sleep.
Weep with joy. So yeah, I basically just spend 10 minutes identifying it now.
So what exactly does identify do?
That's a good question.
I think it doesn't necessarily reveal curses and stuff like that. That's completely your domain.
Curses certainly are.
You choose one object, you must touch it throughout the casting of the spell. It is a magic item or some other magic imbued object. You will learn the properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use and how many charges it has. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
Yeah, okay, so you delve into it. You've done this before to some magical items. This is far deeper into the weave than you've ever felt before. The spell used to create it is not even a spell. It's magic in its purest form. You know it can be used to craft mechanical beasts, and it can also be used to open magical locks. There's also some other functions in there you search for and you reach in for, but you just can't pinpoint because you've never sensed magic even remotely like it before. One thing you do notice is it can also be used as a cipher for what you're not sure.
Can I roll an Arcana check to see if I can pull up any history or lore about it?
Yeah.
24.
It's a hammer. Immediately you think Moradin. Other than that, you've heard of his fight with Abathor and how he drew his power out of him and created this eye. And Abathor was felled by his hammer. You don't dare to dream, but you think maybe this could be something like that.
I'm very happy.
Who's on the second watch?
Maybe.
I'll take it.
Oh, if you're still dealing with your hammer, yeah.
Still examining it.
Roll perception for me.
9.
Yep, nothing. You're safe. Very safe. A bit too safe, some would say.
Yeah, I'm just flicking it to like, this is great.
Third watch I'll take.
Sure.
Roll perception.
Hand it back to you.
Nope. No. Take it, and he seemed really interested, so I'm obviously focusing on this.
Not too last one.
Yep.
18.
You hear sounds coming from beyond the door. You are focused for a little while, and you could swear you hear deep laughter.
Does it sound familiar?
All too familiar.
Like crazed dwarf familiar?
Similar too.
Great.
I just... How far into my watch do I hear this?
You probably hear it sort of near the beginning of your watch. No one else has sort of thought to listen at the door. Everyone's watching for the spiders getting through.
Do I think if I wake them up now, they're not going to be rested enough?
Yes, you probably would think they need a bit more time.
Okay. I'm going to wait and just listen and see if he does anything else but laugh.
You only hear the laughter a couple of times.
Okay.
You do hear the scraping of stone. You hear something smashing. You're not sure what while he's laughing. Most of the time it's just silence though.
Okay. I'll just stay really quiet.
And everyone comes to, feeling better than they did.
I'll let them know.
Not entirely rested yet, though.
Yeah. I'll let them know about the laughter of our dear friend Melty Melty Lava Man, I believe was his name.
It is now.
Lord Melty Melty Lava.
Oh dear. We've angered the Lord. I heard smashing and I think maybe laughing at the smashing. He's crazy. We've established that.
I had an idea while I slept. I reach back to my invisible pack. I pull out a crowbar.
Yep.
Good idea.
Sounds good.
I pull out the crowbar out of my visible pack.
One moment. See if we put a crowbar.
I put a crowbar like underneath for a hold, and then I let someone else deal with it.
No, that was it.
I'll put the crowbar in, and it should cancel out my
Jafar would
disadvantage.
like to know if Cass would like us to try, or would he like the mighty Jafar to do it?
Go for it. I'll turn to Medreth out. Is it alright if I use the hammer for what's coming up? You got your stick axe thing. Might come handy.
I said you could borrow it. I'm true, my lord. The crowbar.
And seeing as how I can't help there, I'll just stand back, shield ready, just like basically slap myself. Just
Yep. Roll strength.
Don't even count the roll.
14.
11.
So have you both got crowbars?
Yep.
So you put the crowbars under and you put all your weight on it. And just as you think it's about to give a little bit, the door closes very slightly, and the crowbars just snap in half.
Yeah. Oh.
That was my
If you want to roll history,
why not?
Jafar has made you 2 crowbars now.
These are 2 bad
Natural 20
crowbars.
and 27.
so you've heard of ancient dwarven ruins having tests of strength, and if you try and cheat on them, the doors are cursed to make sure you can't.
Alright, I'll give this a...
I look around.
I told you wouldn't be able to stop it. And then I'll try and give it an actual personal lift again.
Yep. Roll with advantage now that you know what it is.
Oh, that's right, I lost that die. Natural 20!
So you kneel down in front of this door and your large hands slide underneath it as you start pushing up, your muscles bulging with the strain as you start getting up a little bit more at a time. And you sort of get it up just enough to get to your feet. Your whole body's shaking with the weight of it.
As soon as it starts lifting, I'm peeking under to see if I can see feet of melty lava doomed man.
You can't see his feet yet. You do see a dark passage, but you can see there is light right down the end of it. A roiling light that you think would probably be coming from lava.
That's what I was doing.
While he's looking under, I just go, get under the can door!
And then I'll roll under.
If they're all looking at the wall, I'm going to take a couple steps back and quickly cast invisibility.
I will go under, but there'll be a quick second where I'm holding that crowbar in my hand. I look around and for that woman who's around with us who could cast mending. And go under.
Yep, so they've all sort of ducked under. Jathar's disappeared. You assume he's through. You're standing there shaking and you realise you're stuck on the other side of this door. You have no idea how you can get under.
Can I try and shoulder it?
You can. That would be another strength check.
Meanwhile, I'll be going, Medreth! 17?
If Medreth is there and listening, he can help you.
If he says that, yeah. 23.
Yeah, so Medreth sort of gets under, and not with the dwarven strength you have, but a surprising strength that lifts this door up. You get it on your shoulder.
And then we'll just try and kind of like duck their head and...
And as you do, you sort of let go a little bit, and Medreth is taking a lot more of the weight than you're expecting.
I'll breeze it off like I got it up to the forklift height for him. Just like...
So now you're on the other side holding this door.
Everyone through?
Yep.
Where's the cat? I cannot lower it until he is through.
I'm sure he's fine.
I send message to Jathar. Are you through the door? Where are you?
I am stealthing ahead.
He's stealthing ahead.
You hear him whisper as he blends into the shadows.
And where's the woman with the strange eyes?
She's been gone.
She's been gone all day.
Yes. Is that a problem?
It was a problem ages ago, but nobody cared.
Okay.
You drop it?
Yeah.
So you drop this heavy stone door and it impacts the ground and an echo just releases through the corridor.
I turn to Valius and I think about it this way. She's not stuck up there with Melty Dwarf Man.
Well, Melty Dwarf Man was just laughing and smashing. If we find Laughy Smash Vilvana up there,
Then we get angry.
definitely. I agree.
Jafar's going to stealth on the corridor and put traps.
Roll investigation.
10.
Yeah, so it seems fairly trap free. You kind of think by this point, if you'd gotten through all this, they're not trying to hurt you anymore. They figure you've earned your right.
Yeah. I'm wary of any large caverns as well.
Yep. As you get towards the end of this passage, it does wind around and it does open up into a large cavern. You can see it's very well lit by molten lava running underneath a giant steel platform.
How long did it take me to get down?
Not long.
Oh.
With your movement speed, you're probably there almost as the stone door was hitting the ground.
No. No, I continue on this cavern.
Yep. Roll a dex check.
What one?
How are you moving? Are you on all fours, on your feet?
Yes, that would probably make me as soft as possible.
Yeah, so you step out onto this metal grill and immediately your hands just start burning. The lava's not far underneath it. You can see now smoke rising off of it. It's superheating the metal.
I'll pull back.
Yep.
Is there a wall around?
There is a stone wall.
I touch it to see if it's hot really quickly.
It's very hot, but nowhere near as hot as the iron.
Will it hurt if I try and climb?
You don't think so.
I start climbing.
So you've got 2 party members missing. Not sure where they are. The door's closed behind you. You know it's echoed, and you know, or at least assume from what Valius has told you, there's something dangerous ahead.
Just the way I like it.
Slow and steady. Let's go.
Shield up, hammer out.
Forward.
So
Quarter staff in
you,
hand, hammer on belt.
so you push your way down past the corner as well. It's getting quite bright now, and you step out to see the same thing. This platform with iron, molten lava bubbling underneath it.
What does the platform look like? Is it just like sleek stone?
It's a grill made of metal.
Alright.
Is this just a pathway to another door on the other side, or
It's opening up into a cavern.
so there's this steel grate with the lava, and then after that it's just stone cavern?
You can see beyond that, it goes. You can see the steel grate turning to the left and the right, going into 2 smaller caves that head off of this.
In my winter clothes and starting to sweat a bit in front of the lava, but there's no warning. I just start walking out.
Roll dex save.
10.
Yeah, so you step and immediately you hear the sizzling of your boots.
There's a slight pause where I'm like, well, I'm wearing metal armor, but I step back.
And look around if there's any dwarf shoes just laying around.
There are not.
Dang.
What I'll do is I'll basically start taking off my winter layers and bundle them up on my backpack. See just the gleaming chainmail with the similar symbols on my shield that have just been like essentially just grinded and hammered off, and sling it over onto my pack and just walk in there.
Yep. I probably should have made you do this while you're on rest, but do a perception check for me.
Not great. That is a 7.
You step out, and are you wearing shoes still?
Yeah, I've got the boots of Winterland on, which have the
Which are leather boots?
but they've also got the like ice climbing
Yeah.
things on the bottom.
So it's very, very hot, but they don't seem to be melting.
How far is it to the corridor?
Which one?
Whichever one's closest.
So there's 2 pathways that lead off. They're probably about 60 feet away each.
Alright, I'll climb to one fire and go ahead, and I'm going to pull out my rope and tie a bolt to it and then shoot it roughly 10 feet down and yell out from while hiding. Well, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to yell, hey, climb along the rope.
Yep, so you manage to find a crag in the rock and jam it in. Fire the bolt down. It sort of clatters along the ground because there's not really anything for it to perch on, but the rope is there.
I tried to shoot it along an angle so it was like further down so it's sticking to the wall.
It's a rock wall with a crossbow. You'd probably struggle, but you do have the rope there if you can find something to tie it onto.
I'll just shrug and run there.
Sorry?
I'll just shrug and then just run there to where he shot the bolt.
You do see that it's just metal grill. You don't know what's around the corner.
Yeah. No one ever said I was smart.
Okay.
Yeah, there was another path, wasn't there?
One to the left and one to the right.
I'll go to the opposite one Medreth went to.
Yep. Alright. How long do you spend running there?
2 rounds? Oh, no, it'll be a full dash, so 1 round.
So you can feel the skin boiling, and you take 9 points of burning damage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not releasing or letting up as you're getting towards it.
But do I make it far enough where I can see what's around the corner?
Yet you see it leads down another fairly long corridor of this iron, and there is a small room at the end, where you see the back of a dwarven man covered in tattoos that are carved into his skin.
Jafar bundles up his rope because I don't want rope.
I swear and I'm back to the safety where I was.
You take 17 burning damage as you run.
I'm trying to shake off as much damage as I can, which is 13.
You move towards this other passageway, and the lava goes down to a dark end of this corridor, and you just see a stone wall with runes etched into it, dwarven runes.
Can I read them?
From here you can't read them. You can tell they're probably from an ancient language, and you might be able to decipher part of it.
Is there does the grate go up to it, or is it just like a lava flow in front
The grate does go the whole way.
Fuck it. I don't know. I guess I'll go up and see what I can do about it.
Yep, so as you approach, the runes start glowing red. Roll a history.
27.
Okay. You can pick out a few more words here. One says imprisoned, one says unholy, one says Abathor.
I hit it with the hammer.
Okay, sure. You hit it with a hammer and the runes glow blue briefly.
Do any of them change?
No.
I was thinking, I'll turn around. The crazy dwarf with the tattoos is down that way.
Have we seen what's down the other way?
My feet were on fire.
Not good.
I assume I was on the tunnel where he ran to see the dwarf. I'm gonna crawl around the opposite wall, see if there's anything along there as I go to the other side.
To where Cass is?
Yeah.
Nothing along the walls. You do notice they're fairly smooth from the heat that's risen up here. It's obviously been quite a long time for stone to have almost melted with no way for it to be pressurised.
I'm just gonna watch him whack the wound as well. What's in
Yeah, so you see him hit it and it blue glow and then retreats to red.
I'll cycle through some words in Dwarvish. I'll break, release, free, and I'll just cycle through scripts as I'm here.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Oh shit. That's not good. That's a 4.
Alright, that's not good. You say release, and these runes glow blue, and then they freeze for a moment, and then parts of this rock start falling away.
I back up like straight away. I'm going.
Jafar also retreats.
Behind the wall, you see now just this hulking figure sitting in the darkness, just very lightly illuminated from the glow of the embers.
I will walk up to it, hammer outstretched.
You see it stand, and it is about 3 times your height, but unmistakably dwarven.
Jafar ready to die in case he tries to attack.
He turns around and you see one of his eyes is missing.
Is this like a dwarf-looking dwarf or?
A very, very dwarf. Far dwarfier than Cass.
Oh dear. He's going to out-dwarf you.
Roll a religion check.
I get the feeling this is like an aspect of Abathor. 22.
Okay. You've heard stories about this fight between Abathor and Morin, and stories of him being sealed away in a magic chamber that only Morin's hammer could open.
Whoops.
You look up and see the missing eye, and remember the tales of the Eye of Abathor.
I take a knee immediately and say, I'm here to release you. A follower of Moradin is trying to prevent your release in the next room.
He looks down at you for a moment, and just pushes past you effortlessly, feet to the floor. He steps onto this grating, his shoulders grazing this cave as flesh, the smell of burning flesh and smoke just come up.
I climb into the roof to try and avoid him.
Yeah, you're invisible. He's not really looking for you. You manage to get out of the way pretty quickly. From across the room, you just see this giant dwarf, almost the size of a giant, push his way through. You see the rocks crumbling where his shoulders hit it, and he just continues on to the next passage, leaving a trail of flesh melting behind him on the hot steel.
Should we be concerned or?
We cannot die in this place.
I immediately look around me and then just try to remember how he sealed him.
With the power of gods.
I curse in every dwarvish script. Is there anything in the room while whatever he was sealed in?
There's nothing at all in here. It's very obvious an isolation prison. And that's where we're going to pause.
Shit. Just hope he kills that dwarf first.
Alright, so we return to where we left off. Unleashing ancient gods that we maybe shouldn't have.
I'm so sorry.
That's a strong use of the word "we."
Wait, Medreth is entirely responsible for this, for letting me borrow the hammer.
Or picking it up to start with, really.
Okay.
That's fair.
So you just hear this rumbling voice of a language none of you understand. And a softer voice reply, the dwarf from before. You can't understand anything they're saying, and it goes silent for a moment. Then all of a sudden you hear banging. You see this hulking shoulder push out again out to the middle, flesh trail being left behind, this molten metal. He's holding this dwarf by the head, dragging him along with him. The dwarf still laughing manically. You've never seen anyone look so happy, in fact.
Oh god.
And he's coming straight towards the people in the hallway.
So while they were speaking, I looked up at my dove.
Mhm.
I'm like,
It
let me get
is-
quiet. So I was like,
Its head's sort of frantically moving. It's trying to find a way to communicate with you, and it just can't.
Jafar's gonna head down the corridor. He just came out.
Yep. So back up to where the stone was.
Medreth, I think we should back it up a bit.
I'm still kneeling.
Yep. Are you facing him kneeling, or
Yes.
just kneeling
Yeah.
in general?
Uh,
Roll perception.
17.
Where his eye socket was is a glowing red gem.
Damn it! I knew that was gonna happen. I'm still kneeling.
And you notice that where he stepped on this metal grate, it's now dented in with the weight of him.
So that other passage is untraversable.
Well, you could go down there.
I might just. He's like in the way, or is he heading down the hallway?
He's in the way as he's heading towards you, but then he does turn and make back towards the main passage.
I'll wait for him to go and then just head down that other hallway.
Yep. What are you doing as he's coming towards you?
Backing it up.
backing up. I'm gonna make a bit of a silent prayer, not to my patron, so to speak, but to my God.
Yep.
And be very much like, if you want me to attack. Basically, the gist is, if you want me to attack this dwarven. I don't know if it's a dwarven god, do I?
No, you just think it's a very
Yeah.
big
Okay,
dwarf.
I'm just I won't be doing
Weird
that.
looking
I'll be
dwarf.
back. I'm just backing off.
Yep. So you back up to the corridor until you hit this giant slab of stone
Oh shit.
that you've dropped behind you. And you hear the cracking of steel as he's stepping on it, and the rush of rock as he glances past it, crushing it off of the walls.
Still coming towards us. How long does it feel until
His pace is fairly lumbering, being so large, but you figure it's not going to be long at all.
like a minute?
Far less than a minute.
Never
You've
mind.
probably got about 15 seconds before he'll turn the corner
I
and
just
start
turn around
coming
and start
towards you.
trying to pull this thing up.
I help him.
If he wants to help, he can.
Yep, strength.
That one.
14.
Yeah, so you try and pull it and it's just not moving, and you hear these thuds as the steps have come off the metal now and hitting the stone, moving towards you.
I don't think we should throw the first punch.
I look at you. I look back. He's like pretty close to us, isn't he? Like, he'd be what you can see.
his shadow now coming around the corner.
Oh, okay. Before he comes around the corner, I just look at you. I also look back. I crack my staff down, and I am now the world's tallest dwarf. And I've got the tattoos on, as I saw before with that guy.
So you look the same as him?
Yeah, but I can only adjust my height a foot.
Okay.
So I'm 5'6" dwarf.
I'm sure I had to disguise myself as a dwarf as well.
Okay. And you're invisible?
Yeah, I'm heading down the other corridor that the man dog was in.
Okay, yep. So the two of you are standing down the hallway as dwarfs.
I'm getting like a guard position sort of thing next to the door.
Yeah, I sort of imitate like a ceremonial position
Yeah.
with like a big dwarven axe.
With a fake big dwarf axe.
Alright, so back in the chamber, you've both headed down now this corridor. At the end you just find a stone dais, and beyond that a small box covered in ruins.
Actually,
Yep, you manage to open it and it's completely empty, and you notice as you do that the lock's been pried off. Roll insight.
17.
exactly the size of a large red gem.
I'll take that box. Is there a book around?
There's a dais where a book would have been.
Kill that dwarf.
Kill him again.
And again. And again. I guess I'll run out there and I'll address the big hulking dwarf, and I'll basically say,
So by the time you get back, he's most of the way up the hallway.
Right.
You see him just sort of disappearing around the corner.
hobble after him like,
How long has it been since I cast invisibility?
Minute would have passed by now.
So yeah, I'll run after him and catch up as much as I can and just kind of shout out his name and I'll basically shout out, Avathor, I can finish your eye! Hoping that it's not finished yet.
Roll persuasion.
I'm gonna stealth follow him.
That's a 4.
He seems to just completely ignore you. And just beyond his hulking frame, which is now actually carving a new path through this stone and leaving just crumbled debris behind, you see 2 other unfamiliar dwarves standing at the door of strength.
What language did you say that in?
I probably would have said that in regular Dwarvish, but I probably should have tried it in Primordial. So I'll try it again in Primordial.
Roll persuasion.
1.
Roll insight.
Maybe throw that away.
It's not great.
Yeah,
So, 8.
you don't know why he's not listening to you. But that's what you see as you round this corner. Both of you see 2 unfamiliar dwarves standing guarded by the door of strength.
Right. I keep hiding on the roof and I'm ready to ask his attack.
Yep. And what are you doing as he's approaching?
I
was saying I'm clenching.
I sort of look at Panic and he's a big dwarf, but from what I understand of the dwarfs, this is a test of strength. And I step back and like gesture towards it, trying to just like I'm not, trying to act like I've been around enough people who are powerful and deadly to sort of be not subservient, but kind of like I'm being respectful after you, sort of.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Mimic.
Yeah, so
And I send him a message, being like, what's the game plan here?
I don't know.
And I just keep mimicking him.
So Avathor starts moving through. You see him carving, like I said, a new path, wider than before because he cannot fit through the cavern. He gets to this door of strength and opens his hand, just hits it, and it just crumbles into rubble as he pushes through and keeps going.
Ignores us.
He gave you a very slight glance as you walked past and just straight through.
I send you a message so that he can't hear it still. We will not fight this in any shape or form.
Roll perception.
21.
You see the dwarf that's being dragged along by the head turn around and give you a wink with a big smile as he's dragged through.
I sort of whisper back, I think whether we fight it or not is purely down to it.
Sure. No, message again. Do you want to follow?
Yes.
We'll follow at a respectful distance and pace.
Yep, so you're keeping him inside. Are you giving him enough space to get ahead?
30 feet or...
Behind, once again, I've been around enough people who are... You want to keep a respectful distance from, even when you're being like honor guard, so to speak.
Yep.
And I'll sort of imitating that.
Keeping him inside, sort of, yeah.
So you head down this stone corridor much wider than it was only moments before. And you come back into the cavern where the clockwork spiders were. He's just pushed straight through the rubble of rock and bodies that was left behind. You see a few skittering around, very obviously trying to avoid him.
I look back. Can I see Cass following? Or
I'm I will eventually, but I'm basically going to grab the hammer, get off the metal grate, obviously, and just kind of sit there and just say, Maroon, what do I do? Just kind of pray as hard as I goddamn can.
Roll a d20.
See, I told you. So 6.
Yeah, so your prayer's answered. You feel a wave of anger coming out of his hammer at you. It's obvious that it's not very happy with what you've done.
Yep. I'm aware.
But you also roll a religion or insight, your choice.
23.
You know it's not the god itself. It probably wouldn't be that connected, but it's the spirit of the god in his creation.
Give me more than a feeling. Please. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just run after it.
As we're following, I'd like you to reach out and prestidigitate and just touch one of the walls.
Yeah.
I leave a mark on it, which is a Dwarven rune. It means Malwyn.
What are you doing?
I'm stealthing behind him, but if I think there's what's in there, I'll fall back so he can't see me and let go away. No, normally stealth.
Yep. As you're stealthing behind him, roll perception.
13.
So you're going fairly quietly, fairly slow. He's not looking around, his head's straight forward. You figure you'd probably walk right behind him and he wouldn't care.
So that should last up to an hour. I assume I put it in Orcish, and I just assume you can read it anyway.
Okay, I've got an idea. It's a terrible idea. I'd sprint after him, like just dash and just try and catch up as quickly as I can.
Yeah, it won't take long. Like I said, he is carving his way through stone with his muscle and just lumbering through.
Star's probably maybe got the best.
So you sort of catch up and you see the others trudging a little bit behind, following. You're now probably on the other side of the clockwork spiders. They're starting to look at you a little bit. They've obviously given clearance to this giant god that's crushed his way through here. But they're starting to get a bit agitated again now.
He's a physical, organic dwarf, right?
From what you can see and tell.
So when he walks, it doesn't make any metal clanging sounds or anything like that?
No.
Alright.
No, and you did see the flesh melting on the steel as well before.
Yep.
The smell of it was in your nostrils. Hard to mistake.
I'll just shout out, we need to get that eye out of his head, and I'll run up and I'll try and jump onto the back of him.
Okay, make a grapple check.
Hearing this, Jafar's going to try and quickly sneak across the roof in front of him and lay down and grab his eye.
And I will drop my shitty disguise and pull out my flute and start playing it to bardically inspire you. And can I also cast Bane on both massive god dwarf and...
I mean, if that's what you do, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So as I'm playing my flute, just small threads, silvery threads, launch out towards them, wrap around, and then you make wisdom saves.
And what happens if they fail?
A coil will be around their neck, restricting them a little bit. Bane.
Yep, so...
and if not, they'll snap and nothing will happen.
So you see this dwarf with the tattoos all over him gets wrapped up in this cord, and he starts gasping as it's pulling at his throat as he's being dragged along. As they hit this other giant dwarf, they just bounce off. Yep. He doesn't even seem to notice.
I rolled a 15 to jump onto the back of him.
Yep. Roll a strength check. Strength save, sorry.
17.
Yeah, so he just reaches up, hurls you into the wall. Well, you take 10 bludgeoning damage as you hit it and fall down. As you're scattering across the roof, he looks up at you with this red glowing eye, and you can tell he sees you perfectly well.
I still try and grab the eye.
Roll initiative.
14.
So you get ready to lunge. He reaches up to the roof, grabs you, and just throws you at the ground, stepping over you. And you take 14 bludgeoning damage. He seems completely unperturbed by these attacks on him.
You're still near me.
Yeah.
You're down to the point now where you're near that gas chamber.
Medreth, annoyed at himself for thinking along these cowardly lines, just turns around and says to you in like a stage whisper, "It's okay. The gods know how to track the eye. If he has it in him, we will always know where he is." And I'd like to make a deception check.
Yep. I guess too.
With exhaustion. 15.
So who are you trying to deceive?
The god.
Oh, so you're trying to stage whistle so he hears.
Yeah. I want him
In what
to.
language?
Common. Yeah.
So after he throws me to the ground, I'm just gonna get up and just like gurgle out in primordial, "You will suffer me," as I hit him with the hammer.
Yeah, okay, roll to hit.
I'm not a very happy man right now. Nat 1. Oh, as is evident.
You go to hit, and just at the point where the floor drops down again into this chamber, he jumps, and you swing and miss, and just a resounding echo as his weight hits the ground. He starts walking forward, and you see these glowing runes start lighting up around the room again.
I'll go again. I'll jump. Try and smack him.
Yep, roll to hit.
That's 19.
Yep, so it hits him. Roll damage. Which, that's Moradin's hammer.
Yep.
2d12.
Whee! So that's 14.
14. So you hit him, and surprisingly, it seems to impact, and he seems to notice. It doesn't seem to hurt him very much, and he turns around, and you just see the eye flare. And he reaches forward and just picks you up clean off the ground and hurls you back the way you were coming from. Turns around and keeps walking. And you suffer 13 bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground and roll out.
Could I have made an attack while he was turned around?
Yep, you have to make a con save because there's now gas leaking from this
Ranged.
one. You can make a ranged, yep.
So as I see him turn around, I reach up and grab one of my javelins and throw it. How far away is he?
He'd probably, if you're at the edge, he's probably only about 40 or 50 feet.
So the range, which is a pity because I critted if I didn't have disadvantage. 21.
Yep, roll your damage.
Really? Do I need to?
Yes, you do.
6 damage.
So he's turned around, grabbed Castle Throne, and he's seen the spear coming towards him. As he did, he's frustrated and just lifts the dwarf up, and it impales right to his chest. He grabs him and keeps walking.
That's an acceptable result.
Jafar has retreated back behind everyone and dropped invisibility, and then I'm going to try and cast Mage Hand to grab the eye.
Yeah, so by the time you've dropped invisibility and cast Mage Hand and moved it, he's out of range. Unless you want to jump into the poison gas.
Oh, he's in the poison gas?
Yes. Wading through it as the dwarf, now with a spear through him, is coughing up blood. Still looking happier than you've ever seen anyone in your life.
Getting up, I will run, sprint into the poison, jump back into the poison, and I'll slam the hammer on the ground same way I did to the stone wall that released him, and I'll just, again, I'll cycle through, stop, then basically just command words to try and stop the poison.
Yep.
Any effects? Does the hammer affect the runes when I smack it?
Doesn't seem to.
I keep running. I'll try and hold my breath.
Yep, roll Constitution. This is to hold your breath, so...
Oh, so to hold my breath. So that's 14.
Yeah, so you sort of start making some distance. You're quite heavy as you impact the ground, you just feel it vibrate through your body, and without thinking, after about 20 feet, just gasp without thinking. Roll a con save.
16.
Yep, so you start coughing up blood. And you take 6 damage just as it hacks at your throat. And you see this god dragging this dwarf who is almost across this large room now.
Jafar is going to run across the gas, but he's going to hold the bag holding up to his face to breathe.
Yep.
I'm going, I guess. Try and hold my breath as long as I can.
Can't be the only one who doesn't. Deep breath in. What's the total distance of this area?
I think it's probably about 400 feet across. It's a fairly large room.
Alright, I can move 90 feet around. I just sprint while holding my breath. Aiming at him, I can move 90 feet around.
Yep, so roll 4 con saves for me.
Not breathing, but
I'll roll the first one to see if you...
26, sorry.
Yeah, so you managed to hold your breath and keep going for the first 100 feet or so.
19.
Yeah, and you managed to hold on. It's getting harder now, but you're about halfway across the room.
Yeah.
And when you're there, you see this guy just step up onto the platform and push his way through the next section of cave.
15.
So now you gasp for breath, so make a con save.
All the dice are going lower each time. This cannot. I don't think it's going to be enough. So that's 13.
So you start coughing up blood. You feel your movement speed slowing.
So I know it's 400 feet across, don't I?
About that, yeah.
And I don't have any idea how long it takes for the gas to go away, though, do I?
No, you've had a long rest since. It could have been hours. It could have been minutes.
Shit. I'm the only one that's still here. I can't even see him, can I?
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
you can see everyone.
Did you go across?
Yeah, I ran in.
So you see that Tabaxi just grabbed the bag of holding and jams
Oh,
it and
yeah,
just
that's
start
right.
running blindly forward.
I wish I had a bag of holding. Yeah. I'm just gonna try and hold my breath, I guess.
Yep, so roll con.
17.
Yep, so you managed to hold your breath for the first... what's your movement speed of dashing?
60.
Yep, okay.
Yeah. Second one is 18.
Yep, that passes.
21.
Yes. But you're really struggling now. You're just shy of halfway across the room.
This is where my luck runs out. Oh, natural 20. But it's only 23.
Yeah, but it's a natural 20, so you get past halfway now. You've got about a third to go, and you feel your body just burning with the effort of holding your breath.
Yeah, there we go, 13.
And you exhale.
And then the next save is an 11.
Yep, so you take 5 poison damage. You feel your body slow down. What's Cass doing?
Pushing through the poison as to try and catch up with it again.
Yep, so roll a con save.
Ooh, 7.
So you start gasping for breath, you just can't find the end of it. You can't breathe at the moment. Roll a con save.
Sure.
And you as well.
How close am I to the end?
You've still got a fair way to go. I think you got about 2/3 across.
I'm within 120 feet of the end.
You'd be pretty close, yep.
Basically what I'm saying is, can I get, if I have 120 feet of movement, can I get there? And out.
No, if it's physical movement, no. Your movement speed is slowed down.
Okay. It's 18.
Yeah, so you stop being able to breathe as well, but you manage to fight through it. You get another probably 30 feet across.
Have I made out dollar end yet?
Yes, you would have.
So can I see them struggling in there?
Yes, you definitely can.
How long do I reckon it'll take me to get to the closest one and then back?
Medreth is fairly close now. You could probably get there and back fairly quickly.
In that one breath?
Your travel speed. If you pass your con save, yes.
No, I'll hold the bag, hold it to my mouth, run back in, and put the other side onto Medreth, and then I'll get out.
How big's the bag of holding?
How big is it?
I think it's like a 5 foot opening when you. No, that's
Okay.
not. Well, it's at least 2 foot, I think, opening when you open up the slice point.
So you run back to Medreth with this bag of holding. You give part of it to him.
I just push you past me.
Right.
Roll con.
It's pride.
17.
Yeah, you start hacking up blood. You feel like you're on your last legs. You see it's about 40 feet away now.
Alright, because it's... Alright, in that case, I will use my full movement. Action, bonus action, movement, so it's 90 feet normally.
So we're 30 feet now.
Action surge to get out.
Yep. So you push your way. You see the end. You see blood vessels bursting in your eyes. Your vision starts going red, and you fall to your knee. But you manage to push through it and just lunge up and weakly grab the top of your face just above. Make a strength check.
Natural one.
Okay. So you almost clamber up, but you fall backwards into this green mist.
My save was nat 20 before. How many more do you want me to make?
You're probably most of the way across now too.
Yeah. Another one?
At least another one.
Okay, that's good. That's something. That is 7.
Yeah, so you start coughing up blood too.
12. That's not really easy. Natural 20.
So was that, what was the one before that?
12.
12.
So I fell 2 now.
Failed 2, yeah. So you see as you go for Medreth, him push past you, and you see Valis just collapse on the ground.
Excellent.
I take a breath from my bag and I run up to him and hold it to his face.
Yep.
Am I unconscious? Or?
Yes.
Cool.
He's unconscious?
Yep.
Yeah. So, does he still breathe in unconscious?
He's breathing.
Yeah. So I give him some air and then pull it off and close his mouth and I pull him towards the exit. Alternate taking breaths and then give it to him.
Yep, okay. Roll a strength check.
6.
So you start dragging him, and you haven't managed to take any of this toxic damage yourself, but just moving it, just being in this cloud's making you weaker than you'd expect. What's Cass doing?
Hit the ground a little bit, basically hacking up blood, and then I'll just slam the hammer on the ground and just try and push through as hard and fast as I can. Just sheer bubbling rage.
Yep.
20.
Yep, so you managed to push on. You see the end in sight now, it's shimmering in your eyesight. This poison's really starting to affect you, but you do see it there.
Do I pass Valius?
Yes.
I will basically grab him by the collar and try and huck him. Or like slide him across because the ground was smooth, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll try and like slide him as far as I can.
Strength with disadvantage for that one?
Natural 20. You break him.
Natural 1.
So you go to grab Valis and Helen and you just miss completely because your vision's so watery.
Then I'll keep going if I don't get a grip on him.
As he passes, I try and give him a hug of air from the bag of holding.
I will gladly take that.
Yeah, so you see the bag of holding opening, just this strange dimension swelling, you just jam your head. Closes behind you and you make a dash for it. Roll a single con save to see if you remember to hold your breath better this time.
9. It is better than last time.
So you sort of get to within about 15 feet and just... As you do, you see Medreth lying in the mist in front of you on the ground.
Is he unconscious or is he?
Unconscious.
But
you do see his eye sort of flicker open and fall again.
I'm good. I'm sorry, but I'm going to use you as a step and then cast Healing Word as I crouch down. Oh no, Cure Wounds and then jump.
Yep.
Nope, wrong one. Okay, my death out. So 6 health.
So your eyes flutter open suddenly, and you go to stand up, and your body just doesn't move. And you feel your health slowly ebbing away as you lie there.
So I can't move at all?
You can attempt to. It's going to be a will check, like a strength with disadvantage.
Everything's been a disadvantage. Okay. Can I see them?
Yeah, so you see Jethar trying to drag
I'm not
Valius.
pulling him down, I'm pointing him back of holding.
Sorry?
I'm just putting him in the bag of holding.
Yeah,
now.
so you see him dragging this bag of holding.
Does Jafar appear like he's succumbing to his sickness?
Roll a con save.
I'll take a hug of breath before I start putting him in the bag.
Sorry?
That's hug of breath before I
Yep, but now you're trying to put someone in the bag doing physical work on the poison cloud.
Con? Do I have any con? I do. 15.
Yeah, so you do it and you, just, and you start coughing up blood.
Oh, my eyes will glow and I'll drop 3 of my healing dice into him because I can see him. That's all I need to do. And then I'll try to climb out. So it was a bonus action then.
Yeah, so by doing that you feel your will all going into healing him and your strength just leaves you.
When I climb out, I see the dwarf leaving, and I just kind of drop everything and jump back down, and I'll try and pull Medreth
So what you see is the dwarf at this giant stone door that you had to use the hammer to open. Once again hits it and it just starts crumbling into debris.
And I'll just try and pull Medreth out.
Strength check
Not my special.
with disadvantage.
16.
Con save.
It's not a natural 1.
8.
So you jump down, grab it, pull him up, take a deep breath, and you just feel the strength leave your body too. You've got one action to decide what you're going to do.
I'll cast Healing Word on Medreth. No, I'll cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds into Medreth.
Yep.
So yeah, just as hard as I can.
So instead of getting out of the gas, you do that. So you start channeling healing magics, placing your hands on Medreth. You see a light glow come out of them.
So 10, 13.
Yep, so you get 13 health. And you just succumb. Your vision goes dark and you collapse in this fog. You're feeling healed, but the blood's still fresh in your mouth. It's no longer hacking up your throat, and you just feel like all your strength has left you.
Yeah.
You can make a strength check to see if you can stand up, but you feel like even that would be a great effort.
Do I feel I could push him out?
No, he's collapsed on the ground next to you now.
But I can't. Could I pick him up and push him out?
You can barely pick yourself up at this point.
Medreth would try to fulfill the terms of his pact and lift him out.
Okay, roll a strength check.
I'm just going to roll his advantage. 16.
Yeah, so you sort of manage to move your body just a little bit underneath him as you gasping for breath, your throat tearing open again, the taste of blood filling it, getting your feet and hands under, just trying to push him up this stone face, and it just can't move him. What's
I've got him in
happening?
the bag now.
Yep.
I'm using my feline agility to run over there and start putting them in the bag.
Yep, so you're going to make a con save.
Yeah, I'll take a hug breath on the way.
Lucky there's not a door, or we'd be really in
Natural
trouble.
20.
Yep, so you have the bag, you dash across.
Yeah. I guess I'll start with the dwarf because he's small.
Yep, con save.
God damn. 7.
You take a breath and start coughing up, and you feel your strength starting to leave you, your vision goes fuzzy.
Yeah, that's a dwarfen?
Not yet.
I continue to get dwarfen.
Yep. I'll just let you roll a. I'm going to say maybe intelligence check here.
Don't you do me this!
Ooh, that's pretty good. 21.
Be glad it is. You remember that if you die down here, you're probably just going to stand up again not long after. But if someone dies in the bag of holding, they're probably going to die forever.
I
and
stopped
you
getting
currently
into the
got
bag of
someone in
holding and I pulled him off out. Well, yeah, I just ripped him out.
Yep.
In action. Him out. And saying it. And then I climb up.
Yep. So roll a athletics check with disadvantage.
Doesn't matter. Level 2.
So you crouch down on all fours, lunging for this platform, and your claws slip and you fall down. And everything goes black.
Is everything black for all of us now?
Yes.
Sick.
Well, I think so. You were unconscious when you went in.
Yeah.
Those who adventure together die to poison clouds together.
What's everyone's con scores?
3.
Please describe our fever dream.
Modifier or score?
Modifier will do.
3.
2.
2.
So sometime later, you're not sure. Cass starts blinking awake, feeling very weak, very groggy, and you sort of roll over and notice Medreth sort of his eyes fluttering a bit.
Is the gas cloud gone now?
Yeah, seems to have cleared completely.
I get up as quickly as I can and I drag him up and try and start
I
trying to
mean,
pull
you're
him.
right near the edge now. You figure you're probably safer unless something else trips in the middle of the room.
I go up and get the hammer.
Where's the hammer at the moment?
I dropped it when I dropped that my
Okay.
shield and went to dive in to get Medreth
So you left it up on the...
on the ledge.
Yeah, so you jump up, go looking for it. For a blind, panicked moment, you think it's gone. But you do see it just on the ground.
I'll pick it up.
Roll perception for me.
2.
Yeah, you are so exhausted. The hammer was almost the only thing you could see as you're collecting things. Your eyes sort of flutter open. Cass is gone. You see the other two on the floor breathing, seemingly stable.
I'll sort of slowly, basically, crawl over, and I'll cast Cure Wounds on each one of them.
So you both sort of wake with a bit of a start as this magic flows into you.
Did we win?
Sitting up on the ledge, just headbutting the wall with the hammer. And
We did not die.
So all of you are back to full health, but you all do take 3 levels of exhaustion.
oh, sick. Medreth, you must be so happy about that.
Let me just check my hand exhaustion chart.
Now that everyone's awake, everyone can roll perception.
I don't think I can.
Do you mean we're all at level 3 or we've gained 3 levels?
Gain 3 levels.
Everyone at exhaustion. Disadvantage. Perception. 12.
14.
16.
8. So 7.
So other than Valius, everyone starts hearing this this chanting you heard before, this throat singing from the dwarves. Sounds like it's hit a crescendo. It's much louder, much sharper. The hammer strikes are now echoing through the corridors, and you can hear it just at the edge of your hearing. Valius is still shaking his head, trying to clear it from what he's been through.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll go. There was another forge that we didn't check, wasn't there?
Forge?
There was like where we picked up the hammer. There was
Yeah.
another section.
No.
Okay. So it was
No,
just
that
one.
was just the hidden door in there.
Alright.
We then got upstairs, did we?
You came from upstairs.
I guess I'll go stand at the anvil with the hammer.
Yeah, so as you go past, the elves that were strapped to the wall seem to have just been obliterated by giant fist marks that have just completely destroyed the stonework.
Is there like pools of blood?
No.
Is there
And
nothing left?
there's nothing left. Roll perception.
Manacle's broken.
Everything's just crushed and destroyed.
Oh, does it look like it's been more of a reached into the stone and grabbed them than a fist?
No, it looks like it's just a...
Oh Jesus! Because I got a 9, so I don't
9?
observe anything.
No.
Actually, that was with disadvantage. So a 1.
Oh wow! Wow! It got lower.
You just feel horrible for leaving these elves before, and you feel like maybe you should have done something to help them.
Yep, I'm kind of racked with shame and guilt and lots of things right now.
I'm barely able to move, and as I'm going along, I suspect I'm probably a bit blurry. I'd be probably struggling to maintain my illusion.
Yeah, every now and then you just see like a shift.
It's-
Just can change shades, just very briefly.
Well, it would show the robes would appear to be the armor that is actually there.
Yeah.
And,
And as you enter towards the forge, the singing's getting very loud. The hammer strikes falling fast, frantically.
Can we see like his footprints? 'Cause I assume-
Yeah, you can see up the corridor where you first came down, it's just been broken out in a lot of places where he just pushed his way through.
Yeah.
I'll just have a moment of sheer pure rage and just smash the anvil with the hammer like 16, 17 times. Just like screaming.
As you do, arcane energy just sparks out everywhere. Different colours sparking all over the room. And as you hit it, no matter how hard you hit it, it's hitting much harder than you expected it to. Especially with how exhausted you are.
I'd like to turn to my dove and just say, if I die doing this, is my oath fulfilled?
It looks at you and just cocks its head. And it looks up.
Stride along.
What's our plan?
It's just exactly what I was about to ask.
I shift, well, my, the illusion on my quarterstaff is fading in and out, so sometimes it's a great axe, sometimes it's a quarterstaff. And I slide the head under where we're hammering it.
As it hits, the illusion just shatters. And the great axe is revealed. And you feel a faint glow go through it.
Again.
Why not? And I'll just kind of tense and smack the crap out of it.
Yep. So you just feel it glowing with some sort of arcane power as it's being hit.
I can sense a power within it.
I see where you're going with this.
I take my my great axe that clearly is, you're qualified in history. It's clearly orcish in design and not really next to me.
Anyone else got anything they want me to
Fire
light
goes
up?
out his short swords, puts him out.
And just, yeah, essentially. I take out some rage and some self-hate out on these weapons right now.
Yeah, so you feel this arcane energy flowing through them as you pick them up.
Yeah.
You can't quite pinpoint what it is, but it's definitely something different from before.
Valleys?
I don't really want you to hammer my flute, to be honest. I think I'll keep it as is.
Just real gently.
Can I do a gentle tap?
Just take it. I'll just like.
It looks like it hit much harder than but it seems unharmed.
Vaguely gesture to the arms, the racks of like weapons around the room.
Kind of flute, my weapon.
The instrument is mightier than the sword.
I take the shield that's on my back that I took last session and I'll throw a few hits into that, see if that lights up.
Yeah, that seems to as well.
Can I might try and identify the shield that I've just essentially powered up.
Yeah.
Or whatever I've done to it and see.
So you're going
what
to spend 10
effects-
minutes?
Yeah.
That's
See
good.
if it dissipates over the 10 minutes, then I've learned something, and yeah, if it works, it works.
So a few minutes in, you hear this thing getting louder and louder, these hammers crashing down louder and louder.
I was gonna, while he's examining that, stealth towards the sound.
So the sound's coming from directly above where the geyser of lava exploded from the ground earlier.
Sure.
It seems to be coming from above ventilation.
Is there any visible way of getting up there?
Well, when you came in, it was fairly sealed.
Yeah.
But you think if they're still chanting and the god hasn't killed them, potentially the god's up there, so there might be a way.
So I'll follow the god tracks.
Yeah, so as you do, you work your way up to the main entrance hall you came into, and you find that part of the stone wall has just been pummeled in.
Anything through there or not.
Yeah, so it doesn't take long. You find the god's obviously just punched his way out of here, out of the mountain,
Yeah.
creating a trail of destruction on the way through.
I empathise.
Is my note still there?
Yes.
So yeah, anything with their shields? Anything interesting?
Do
Do they gain a property?
We haven't got 10 minutes later yet. We're about 3 minutes later, Jathars. You head outside, look up, that moon is still locked in place. And you sort of, are you going to investigate what's happening outside?
I am going to keep following the tracks of the god until I find him.
So roll stealth. I'm guessing you're going to be doing it stealthily.
Yeah. 23.
Yep, cool. So you wind your way out through, now on the outside of the mountain, it's sort of started growing some forest. So there's some trees and some plants. You creep your way through them and you come to the top of this mountain and you can see smoke rising from a hole in the ground. And around that, in a magic circle, are 13 dwarves sat, 7 of which are chanting and hitting hammers. The others aren't moving at all.
Where's the god there?
The god is kneeling, looking up at the moon.
Alright, I run back down until then.
So this is about 5 minutes later.
Jafar has seen the god. He is with the dwarves and they're in a circle scene.
Could I make an insight check to see how much tempo this is picking up, like how much time we might have to get up there?
Yep.
11. Sorry, 10.
You're not sure, but whatever's happening, you figure you probably want to stop it as soon as possible.
If we go up
Or
the
try to.
stairs, those doors that were sealed earlier, are they open or?
No, they're still sealed.
Can I make a religion check to try and pull up any information on Avathor?
Yeah.
To see if this ritual rings a bell?
Jafar's going to run back up to watch them.
Roll stealth again.
21.
20.
Yep, so you find something in the tree line before the ground opens up and you just sort of sit there in the shadows watching. You remember a story of Avathor trying to seize control of the Ancient Ones, which are the powers before the gods. He thought if he could seize that power for himself, he would have control over the gods and his greed could be fulfilled. He could have whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. And you know the first portent was something to do with the moon. But you can't recall the story beyond that.
Alright.
As you're watching, it just keeps happening. Although you do notice the smoke that's rising is now getting quite a bit darker than it was before.
Yep, I'm going to move around so I'm still hidden so I get the closest position towards the dwarves chanting.
Yep. Roll stealth if you're moving in closer.
Eight.
The dwarves are completely engrossed in this. Avathor's looking up at the moon, and all of a sudden his head just drops and it turns to look at you, his red eye glowing. It lingers on you for a moment, and he just stops and looks back up at the moon.
No.
Are you done?
Am I done?
It hasn't been 10 minutes yet.
I need just a little bit more time.
I start slowly making my way up.
Yep.
Not at full pace. It's not the closest thing I can get to full pace, but
There's not much we can do in this state anyway.
And what's Valius doing?
Um,
What were you doing with the doors that were left closed?
I wanted to see if they were still closed, but he's identifying the hammer.
I mean, if you want to investigate that door, I'm happy for you to do that.
Yeah, well, I'll investigate the door, see if anything's changed about it, or see if I recognise it compared to the other doors that we've seen now that we've been here a while.
Yeah, so roll with disadvantage with the exhaustion.
What am I doing here?
Investigation.
13.
13. As you get towards the door, you do notice there are some scrape marks and the lack of dust that was there before. But the door does still seem firmly closed.
But recently opened.
Definitely nothing to do with the god. You figure he would have just smashed his way in from what you've seen.
Exactly.
How big is this circle of dwarves?
How big,
Yeah.
size-wise?
Yeah.
From one side to the other, probably about 30 feet, with the opening with smoke pouring out in the middle of them.
Alright. I want to cast silence on them.
Yeah, okay, so you start gesturing to cast a spell. You feel the weave leave your body and it just stops. It seems there's some sort of dome of protection around them, keeping everything out.
Alright.
I probably see Medreth heading up. As we went forward.
I look wrecked.
You all
also
look fairly wrecked.
fucking wrecked. I say, the door's been moved. Do you want to try and see if we can open it together?
I am more concerned about the ritual.
It's fair. I can't think of anything I can do to stop it.
I have not seen what it is.
True. I'm gonna play with this door and I'll see you in a bit.
Of course. I start walking up and away. But I am thinking that if there is chanting, people need their throats to chant.
And I'll try and open the door.
Yep. Strength.
6.
Yeah, so you sort of try and pry it and jimmy it. Feel it move a little bit, but you just can't get it open.
I'll try for like a minute.
Yep, roll 3 more times with disadvantage.
6. Natural 1. And 4.
Yeah, so you just can't seem to get it open.
Thank you, that.
Roll an actually perception.
Perception. I wish. No, that's 11.
So as you, for a minute, try and pull this door open, about 3/4 of the way through, you just notice a tiny glint of red on the ground. Looking down, you pick it up and it's a tiny gem that you recognise from Vilvana's jewellery.
Shit. She's in there. Or went in there. I'll pocket that. Yeah, come back to me.
Still waiting.
Are you heading up through the destroyed passage?
Yes.
Yeah. So you follow the same path. You see the slight glow of the outside of the moon come out, and you see that the top of this mountain's been taken over by nature. There are trees and plants, and you can hear the chanting coming from quite loudly just up the hill. If you're following it up, are you doing it stealthily?
No. I'm just going slowly.
Yeah. So you sort of plod your way along.
Yeah.
You get to the top and you see the circle of dwarves. Roll Arcana.
6.
Yeah, and they're definitely doing something magical. Avathor, so they're kneeling on the ground.
Sort of lean against it, basically, tree or a rock or whatever's close. Just start basically pant.
I will cast message through the door, trying to reach Vilvana. Just ask, are you there?
There's no response.
I will try and use thaumaturgy whilst I'm pushing to swing open any unlocked door, the one in front of me, hopefully, as I'm pushing.
So it starts shaking, but it doesn't move.
I start heading up.
Yep.
Can you pass that's how close they are to finishing?
Roll Arcana again.
6.
I'm not sure.
Is there a gap underneath the door?
Very, very slight gap.
I'll write a message to Vilvana, just being shy. I don't know. Just hope.
I mean, you've
okay.
spent some time travelling. You'd figure if the message isn't being responded to, probably not there.
Oh no, I mean like a paper message.
In case. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just like I'm just gonna slide on the door, just be like, guys, yeah, we're trying to stop the chanting. Hope you're okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of them.
All right. So you get to the end of the 10 minutes of casting. Identify, and it seems to be something that's been crafted from the Hammer of Morden by a dwarf with magical properties.
And can I identify what the magical properties are?
It seems to be +1 shield.
I guess that's better than nothing.
There's something else, but you can't quite tell.
Alright, well, time to fulfill a death wish, I guess. I'll just start running up the stairs. Well, I say running, but I mean really trudging, because I have like 10 movement speed at the moment.
Yep. So you get up there. You've headed up as well?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm probably similar pace to where Cass is.
Yeah.
As, as we're heading up together, ask, how bad is it if we just walk away and let them do what they're doing?
I mean, if we walk away, we can get some help. But we don't know what he's doing.
You have no idea?
He's trying to do something with the moon. What it is, I don't know. It ain't good.
Is your god an enemy to him?
Yeah.
What does he stand for? What do you stand for?
I don't really stand for a lot anymore.
Ever since opening this door?
Well, yeah. I'm gonna have a rough couple of weeks.
Let's just focus on this next step first, then we can mourn for ourselves.
You're right, we might not make it.
Yeah, let's go.
So you sort of emerge to see the same thing.
Yeah.
Making your way up, you see Medreth just leaning against the tree, panting, watching.
Yeah, you see me put like a small icon away, so you turn up. That's clear, that sort of looking at it.
I pat you on the back and like on the shoulder, and I ask, any developments in the chanting circle?
No. Wait here. I will distract them.
The smoke's starting to get very black now as it's wreathing out of the top, and it's losing its smoke properties. It's almost becoming like tendrils reaching out.
Oh shit. And are they all the way around this thing?
There's 13 in total. 7 of them are chanting, the rest are silent.
But they're all sitting kneeling around this vent.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to just start slowly approaching one of the chanting ones.
I was going to do the exact same thing, a
Oh,
slow trudge straight up behind one. Well, not behind one, just like next to him-ish.
If I see you pick one, I'll pick the next one over.
As you move forward, roll perception.
Ah,
11.
19.
It's not a very high DC, so you both see the ones that aren't chanting are very obviously dead. The same tattoos carved in with knives, kneeling there with no life in their bodies. And as you approach, you just feel a momentous force pushing you back as you try to move forward.
I pull the hammer in front of me and try to push through. I'm like,
Roll Arcana.
24.
So you feel it going through, but you can't get your hand through.
Okay. Similar with the axe.
Yep, roll Arcana.
16.
So it once again seems to pierce, but you can't seem to push your body past.
Cool. I pull the axe back and like throw it at one of them.
Yep, roll a hit.
15.
Yeah, that'll hit.
No. Oh, I can re-roll that number because it's really, really low.
Can't make this up.
6 damage.
Is this your axe?
Yeah, it is. The one he hammered on, but it's my axe.
So you take this axe and you hurl it. It penetrates and it hits this dwarf across the shoulder, gashing open a wound, and he just keeps chanting, hitting with his hammer, and your axe tumbles into this opening.
Seeing them attack, Charles going to sprint out and then throw his swords at the same guy.
Yep, roll to hit.
First one, 9. Second one, 10.
So you hit the barrier as you throw them, it just throws your aim off and they just clatter to the other side. None of the dwarves seem to be stopping or
I
paying
walk
any
up to
attention.
Cass, and I just touch my leather armor for you to hit the hammer with it.
Kind of like arm it, like put my hand on the back of it.
As you're doing this, you see Abathor reach behind and pull out a giant hammer from his belt. It looks similar to yours, it's got that arcane energy flowing to it. And he looks up at the moon, the chanting comes to a crescendo, the tendrils of black smoke just start shooting up into the sky with incredible speed.
I like to pull the glaive I've got. It's a
I
dwarven made
smack
glaive.
you.
And I like to hurl it at Abathor's hand.
Yep, roll a hit.
All the disadvantages in the world.
Was this forged?
It wasn't specially forged, but it was in that room I took it from.
Okay.
So it's one of the dwarven ones
Yep.
that I cut myself on. 16.
Yeah, so you hurl at Abathor and it hits an invisible barrier and just shoots off to the ground, embedding in it.
I've smacked him. Can
Can I try and walk through the barrier?
Roll a Arcana.
Oh, jeez. 28.
As you strike his arm with the hammer, you're like, it's not working. And you think
Again.
it probably needs the forge.
You know, I've only got one last.
You see Abathor reach above his head with the hammer.
I kiss the hammer, throw it.
Roll a hit.
Please. I bardically inspire as soon as he lifts up that hammer.
I'll be with disadvantage with exhaustion.
Can I guiding bolt as well?
Sorry?
Can I attempt to guiding bolt? As you can hit the barrier. And
I mean, you can. It will just hit the barrier. It cuts off later.
I do that then.
Okay, so does his guiding bolt hit before my?
It hits and glances off.
Oh, okay. Well, so that's a 3 plus 8.
So you take this hammer and you
your
throw it.
modifiers? What are your modifiers?
Oh, 2.
Okay, even better.
Oh, actually, wait, no, I'm proficiency, so it is plus 5. So that's okay. That's actually not too bad.
16.
You're going to have to add a few more modifiers. So you throw this hammer of the gods through this barrier and it just penetrates and goes straight through and clears to the other side, penetrating the other side of the barrier.
Does it land in Jafar?
No.
Yeah.
Avathor looks back at you, his red eye gleaming, and smiles and drives the hammer down. With an almighty crash, this black smoke just explodes into the sky and everything above you just becomes darkness. And that's where we will leave it.
Oh.
I hit my knees, screaming.
I got one more thing to throw.
Oh.
Roll for pigeon darts. Alright, well thanks everyone that's joined us tonight for our first ever stream. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope the tech issues weren't too problematic. And we certainly hope to see you all tomorrow night and next week. So thank you all, and don't forget to check out the rerun if you didn't see the whole game on YouTube. Hopefully up tomorrow for this one.
Thank you.
And good night.